Hi there, and welcome to the Call to Cinema. This video is not starting out the way that I wanted to. Hey there, William. Because I went over to get my ring light so that you guys can actually see me, as opposed to me being completely in the dark. Unfortunately, when I did that, it was somehow the cable from the light got caught up with my PSP, and yeah, PSP, the classic original handheld gaming system. So that happened, but the PSP fell on the floor and the battery flew out of it, which made me just a mite bit concerned because I was thinking, what's the chance that this is going to turn on? That was my first thought. What's the chance that this is going to freaking turn on? And it turned on all right, but I quickly discovered that a whole lot of lines and a whole lot of brokenness. So my favorite retro handheld console is now broken, and just happened right before the video. And guys, I am starting off feeling pretty crappy right now. Welcome to the Cold Cinema. Hi there, and tonight we are going to be talking about basically upgrading to 4K, specifically upgrading to Cam Perfect to Fright Night 4K, to Halloween in 4K, and some of the other pretty much horror centric things that are going to be like that are 4K releases. Is it time? Has it finally come time to upgrade? Fright Night 2, unfortunately, Maddie, has a bit of history behind it. That includes a murder, which is the reason that that's not out on yet. Yeah, so if you ever wonder why Fright Night 2 isn't out, you might want to look into the Mendez case, because that, my friends, is the reason we haven't seen Fright Night 2 yet, and hopefully that can get straightened away eventually. Because I loved it. Saw it in theater, had the stickers. It was in Hostess potato chips. Give me a second to collect myself, because my favorite game system, retro game system, just broke 10 seconds ago before I was coming on air. And yeah. I kind of wish this was a heavier drink right now. Hey there, Dustin. Arrow's co-listing as FN 1 and 2. Maybe. I would love to see that. Arrow would do a great version of that game. So, and the killer part is, I live in an area. I'm going on a tangent here. I apologize. I live in an area where the systems are overpriced. Maybe Dustin. So I was bringing my ring light over. I realized that I had gotten the time wrong on my thing, and I had meant to schedule this for 11:30, and I scheduled it for 11:20. So I was rushing to bring my ring light over, and my ring light, I'm not sure how, but my ring light cord got mixed up with my PlayStation portable cord, my PSP, where I play my SmackDown versus Raw 2006 General Manager mode, and the PlayStation flew to the floor with the battery fell out, and I said, "Oh crap! Is the battery going to be okay?" The battery was fine. However, when I turned it on, tell you what, I'll show you. let's not go through this pain on my own. So we're going to take a minute. We're going to do. We're definitely going to be doing the all the stuff here tonight that I said before. But give me a minute to kind of reflect and be a slightly bit bummed before we go on. But I'll show you what I mean. This baby has been with me through some good times and some bad times. And anytime that I've been stressed or I can't sleep or anything like that, I kind of turn this on. Unfortunately, this is what I see right now. So it looks like the screen is broke on the inside. I'm going to try to hit the home button just to see, just to make sure. Come on, please, 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 please. Come on. No, it's totally broken. On the off chance that I'm gonna get demonetized anyway, I apologize ahead of time. Motherfucker. All right. Now that we got that out of the way. I actually have 2 copies of SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 because I like the game so much and I love the general manager mode on it that I was worried that one of them might break. So I'd have one for my system, a backup. Okay, where were we? So yeah, so we got Fright Night coming out in 4K. We have the. It's been rumored that we're going to get the other Halloweens in 4K. I'm not sure if it's a fact yet or not, but there's been rumors about the other Halloweens coming out in 4K, and that is that should be interesting. Actually, I swear to God, if I get an ad, I'm going to freaking scream. Sorry, guys. So there's some good news for people that like to watch my channel for things that aren't just movies. I was reached out to by some people to look at a few film-related books, and I'm actually excited because I'm going to be reviewing them on the channel. I've actually gotten an early PDF of all 3 of the books, and I will be getting hard copies of the books. So they're being sent to me right now. I'm going to see what I can do, but if I can get 1 or 2 of the authors on here for a conversation, and you might know some of these. So the first one is The Masters of Makeup Effects, A Century of Practical Magic by Howard Berger and Marshall Julius. Of course, Howard Berger is from K&B Effects. And that is coming out on September 6th of 2022. It is going to be a hardcover, and that is coming my way. I've been reading through the PDF. It looks really good. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. Also from Toho Company and Graham Skipper, the Godzilla, the Ultimate Illustrated Guide. Another hardcover one coming out on September the 13th of 2022 from Welbeck Publishing. Both these are from Welbeck Publishing. And yeah, if you're a Godzilla fan, you're going to want it. And of course, this was really kind of cool, actually. The Bibliothèque Guide to Anime, The Essential Guide to Japanese Animated Cinema by Michael Leader and Jake Cunningham. Um, and that one is going to be hardcover too. And that one is coming out on October the 18th of 2022. I have been reading all three of these kind of back and forth. I'm pretty sure that Bibliothèque, there's a podcast. So hopefully there can be a bit of a crossover there. I got to reach out to them. It was very nice of the company to reach out to me and ask me if I was interested in checking out the books. Um, like I say on this channel, I've said it quite a few times that your best special feature you're ever going to get for any movie is a good book, whether it's a book that's included in there or it's a book that you get otherwise. And if anybody tells you differently, they're lying to you. I'm still bumming it, guys. All right, let's look at the blood discussing announcement for Fright Night Part 4K, and we'll go from there. Again, I do apologize. I'm still kind of in shock, to be honest. I'm really in shock right now because I did not expect that to happen tonight, and that has put me a bit off my game. So please stick with me. If you leave my channel because that happened, I don't know what to tell you because that'll piss me off. All right, let's look at it. So, original Fright Night bites into 4K Ultra HD with over 14 hours of special features. I got a really good edition of this one. I got two good editions of this one, but what upgrade to the 4K? Fright Night is one of my favorite movies. This is my top 10. Yeah, I'm probably going to upgrade to this one. It's coming out on October 4th. If I do get out of town, I will hopefully be back here by December. When I don't mean out of town as in like Morocco yet, but I mean out of town as in visiting. So, as you guys know, or I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be visiting my parents in the in late July, early August. So I'm going to try and get my parents. I'm not sure my sister. I'm going to try to get my sisters onto something, whether it be like a what scares you or a live video. Try to get them on there if I can. But we'll see. We'll see if they agree to it. All right, so we got a feature scan from the OCN and presented in 4K first day of tongue resolution with Dolby Vision, all new Dolby Atmos audio. If you've never heard Dolby Atmos audio, when you hear it, it is going to blow your mind because it is so friggin' good. Iceman, Dustin, I really appreciate it, guys. I had it for so long too. Like we made it through a freaking move, like for 5 years. Okay, I'm gonna give up on it. I'm sorry. Special features: new deleted scene storyboards. Tom Holland guides us through the film's only deleted scene using his own personal pre-production storyboards. New Holland beta spec trailer with an introduction by Tom Holland. Never before seen alternate trailer cut by Fright Night editor Ken Beta. I hope I got the name right. With the guidance and narration of Tom Holland. We got the outer commentary with writer director Tom Holland, Chris Sarandon, Jonathan Stark, and moderated by filmmaker Tim Sullivan. Love blood discussing. I hate any site that has ads pop up this much, but I understand. I work on YouTube, so I guess I shouldn't say anything, right? That's the same thing here. They got to make their money. Audio commentary with writer director Tom Holland, William Ragsdale, Stephen Jeffries. You're so cool, Brewster. That's the worst impression ever. FX artist Randall Cook, moderated by journalist Jeremy Smith and filmmaker Tim Sullivan, and the You're So Cool Brewster story of Fright Night. Hopefully that'll include the stuff from Fright Night too. I'm not sure if it will or not, but I love that. No, Tom Holland. That's a different Tom Holland. This is a much older guy. This is a Tom Holland Allen that wrote Psycho. Wrote Psycho 2, and of course he did Child's Play, and of course Fright Night. For real. Everybody's got their things, man. Mike, it's okay. Younger. Oh, that's brutal. As a Zelda fan, that is brutal. By the way, Matt, I'm not sure if you play it or not, but I've been playing Conan Exiles, and at this point, I've put about 60 hours into it. It's frigging insanely good. Hello, Mr. Hubert. Are you upset about my system too? Probably not. What is Fright Night? Tom Holland writing horror, theatrical trailers, Blu-ray special features. This is where we're going to get the brunt of the special features, the new stuff, because they're going to put. But the fact that they got "You're So Cool, Brewster" on the 4K is pretty freaking awesome. No, it's Blu-ray. So we got Ultra HD. Well, so we got two Blu-rays. Okay, we have Fright Night 35th anniversary script read, kind of cool. Anniversary cast reunion and script reading featuring writer director Tom Holland and special guests including, oh, nice, Rosario Dawson. I have a huge crush on her, by the way. I love God of War. I finished that one. It's a good game, man. Um, it is. I mean, like for a while, flickering. It took a while. It took a long time for them to actually get this back. We thought we are going to get another one from. Remember Twilight Time? That's where initially the big edition came from. But now this is a fantastic edition. Rosario Dawson, Jason Patrick, cool, and many more. New The Queer Lens, Brian Fuller in conversation with Amanda Beers. Of course, Amanda Beers would go on to be like many things. She acted with Stephen Jeffries before Fright Night, though. They actually played a love interest of a sort in a movie called Fraternity Vacation, and they got the roles on Fright Night while they were filming Fraternity Vacation. This is the one with Roddy McDowall. This is the original. I don't mind the remake, but the David Tennant could have used way better, making him one, not a Chris Angel type character, and man, did he ruin McLovin in that movie by wasting his character. So the Queer Lens, Brian Fuller in conversation with Amanda Beers. Amanda Beers, of course, is probably most famous for a lot of people, aside from this movie, from being in Married with Children, but she has done an amazing amount of stuff. I had a real big crush on Amanda Beers when I was a kid. Obviously, I had no chance, but still, it's so cool to see her talking about it through like the basically the queer roots, the film subtext, metaphorical power, stuff like that. You know, it's a Dracula film. If there's not a queer subtext in a Dracula film, it's just not anything. Uh, so, a novel approach, the splatterpunk story of the Fright Night novelization. Oh, did Skip Inspector right then? Okay, when I saw that, I'm like, okay, I've never read the Fright Night novelization, but Fright Night novelization out there is John Skip and Craig Spector. I know them. I not don't know them, but I know their work. Publisher Mark Allen Miller discussed how the progenitors of the splatterpunk genre came to work on the book, the writing process, and novels enduring legacy. Well, that's new to me. I did not know Skip Spector did it, but super cool. New SFX storyboard comparisons, a selection of original storyboards from key effect sequences compared with their final filmed versions. Roddy McDowall from Apes to Bats. I love the original Caesar, guys. Tom Holland and Amanda Beers talk Fright Night. Roundtable with Tom, Stephen, and William. Shock to Your Drop presents choice cuts with Tom Holland and Ryan Turek. You know that's going to be good. First ever Fright Night reunion panel, Fear Fest 2, back in 2008. That was on the Twilight Zone. Weekend of Hell panel with Amanda and Steven. Vintage EPK kit with behind the scenes raw footage. Now, here's something I'm going to tell you right now. And by the way, the Zelda Game Watch is really cool, Alan. A lot of people pass up on the vintage EPK kit. They don't go through it. However, here's the thing. This vintage EPK kit, I can tell you right now, has the music video. Not the greatest quality, but still has the music video for Fright Night. And for those that don't know, the Fright Night music video and the song itself just slaps, man. It's awesome. We can see it here in Steelbook, the Steelbook. Yay! Hopefully, there's a regular edition as well. Props on Blood Disgusting for for announcing this. Blood Disgusting does really good jobs when it comes to putting out these announcements. Goodbye, Ed. Try to keep the ad up there as long as I can because of the fact that and it has. I want to know if anybody else has heard the rumor. It has been rumored that we are going to get the other Halloween movies in 4K from Shout. I don't think it's official yet. but I'm not quite sure who rumored it or leaked it, because I don't want to take it as anything official until I know for sure that it is official. But did anybody hear about that? I'm kind of wondering if it's popping up on my popped up on my thing, just because it was like kind of some spam or some fan done thing. Um, Today I caught up on Miss Marvel. Just a quick geek note before we go on with this, and damn, that's a good show. Hey DJ, well, we just looked at the 4K edition of Fright Night, which is going to be loaded with a bunch of new special features, which means that Mr. Anubis, I am going to be getting Fright Night for the third time because I have the Twilight Time limited edition, the big 30th anniversary one they put out that sold out an hour. I have the Sony edition that came out around a month or two later. And apparently now I'm going to have to buy the 4K of Fright Night because it's one of my favorite movies of all time, much in the way that you like American Werewolf in London or Dog Soldiers. That's how I feel about Fright Night. Also, my PSP fell on the ground and broke, and it totally knocked me off my game. So if I seem a bit off my game tonight, it's because I'm crying inside. Real Genius announcement. Yeah. Fright Night. I would love to see The Last Dragon in 4K. It's nothing. Damn those Menendez brothers. Um, Messing up Friday Night Part 2 around us, which he did. But if Arrow puts it out, that'd be great. I want to see what we got on Real Genius. I got a DVD of Real Genius. One of my favorites, actually. Not my favorite, but it was a movie I really liked. So let's dive into that one. It's an early film with Val Kilmer, showing Val Kilmer's acting genius. To be bluntly honest with you, I bet you nobody's about any of my bluntly honest teachers have you yet. Buy a T-shirt or share or whatever. Help me get a new freaking PSP, motherfucker. Okay. 4K HD of the 1985 science fiction film. It's presented in Dolby Vision. Of course it is because Sony put it out. I love. Have you ever seen Dolby Vision? Like there's there's HDR 10 plus and all that type of stuff, but Dolby Vision with Dolby Atmos, truly the best way you can watch most movies if it's well, or if the remasters on good. So we get a feature commentary from film's director Martha Coolidge, a balloon chair, deleted scene, raw montage, and other special features. Sound for the 4K is going to have a 5.1 audio and a new Dolby Atmos perfect track. Damn, that is going to be cool. And for those like Dustin that desperately want to get a Fright Night Part 2, you'll be glad to know that although you don't have a Fright Night 2 yet, and Maddie's ahead of me here. Jonathan Grease. There he is, right here, guys, right there, right here, from Fright Night Part 2, is in this movie. A lot of people know him for, well, of course, TerrorVision, but if you're like a TV guy, then was it? Yeah, Pretender. He's in the Pretender, but he's of course he's had his shade when he's in the Pretender. But I got to say, I am stoked. Fans Got Nerds. Well, Fans Got Nerds is a good channel, actually. Have you ever watched his channel? He's from the UK, which automatically means he has a much better accent than me. Speaking of real genius, there's a local Buffalo art rock house band after. Oh, really? Laszlo Hollyfield. That is cool. Last Night in Soho. I still haven't got Last Night in Soho. Did he play Uncle Rico in Napoleon Dynamite? I don't. Did he? I thought it was somebody else, but I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've seen Napoleon Dynamite. He's got like short, kind of a shaved head. Oh no, yeah. Oh, it is John. Is that? Oh my God, he looks so different. You're right. Good call, Alan. Thanks, Matt. I didn't. You know what? Seen Napoleon Dynamite around 3 or 4 times. Never once did I pick up on that. See this right here, on the right hand there. That's how I remember John Grease. I watched Pretender. So it's like when you go back and you watch The Howling after like watching Star Trek Voyager, and all of a sudden you realize that the smiley face killer, the werewolf in The Howling, is the doctor, the hologram doctor from Voyager, and it's like a mind blowing moment when you kind of put 2 and 2 together, and they're like, I think I've got the Eureka version as well, Elvin. Yes, I do. I have 3. Oh my God. How in the hell am I going to get my better half to agree? To buy a movie that I've got in a Sony version, a Twilight Time version, and a Eureka version. Watch Amazon Women on the Moon. I like that, actually. It is such a cool film. Gremlins 2, I do remember him from. But I did not remember him from being in there. Andrew Parker. She was so good. And did you see the movies? I need something stronger. So I think if I'm right, 12 o'clock midnight. I'm not sure if it's this time or what time. Amazon is going to start their Amazon Prime deals. For those that don't know, they've had some deals go early. So I'm going to go to Amazon CA, and I'll put Amazon.com up for Joe. That's where I'm going to give the better deals at. So let's look. So they often do early deals on here. I know that if you've got Amazon Prime, one of the things that they did and started really early is that they put out. This is Amazon.com, by the way. You could get like the expecting omnibus deals for Prime Day. I've yet to see a good omnibus deal for an Amazon Prime Day Razor, but I would love to see it. We ever see the 9 hours worth of outtakes from Halloween? Probably eventually. When they want to put it again, Ken. So, Criterion Arrow, 50% off. Of course, it's in the with the new MacBook Air and MacBook Pro out, we might see a drop on MacBooks here during Amazon Prime Day. So anybody's looking to get a Mac, this might be the time to get it. I can't be sure though. I will say that I know that for Amazon.ca they gave 3 months of Audible for free, and I'm definitely taking advantage of that because I reading now, well, for work, and hopefully in the next couple of months reading for pleasure as well. And in between that, when I'm doing this, I would like to be able to listen to an audiobook when I'm editing or setting up a video or putting things together. Maybe an Atmos system. Very, very possible because Atmos cinematic are really expensive. So to get them on sale, be fantastic. So what do we got? We'll look at the movies here, see if anything is out already. But I'm not seeing it in show movies and TV. Here we go here. It's different. A lot of the Amazon devices, of course, will be on sale. Well, Grubhub is American, so that would be that would be there. So let's look at some of the stuff that's on sale right here. I'll give you an idea. One, if it's a good sale. Two, if it's worth picking up. And all the other good fun stuff. Well, if you are a fan of Bleach, uh, $24.99 actually is a really frigging good price for this. I bet you this won't be on the Amazon .ca site. Let's go over here and let's just see. Bleach is a really good anime show for those that don't know. So we got a couple of them at 40% off, 12% off, running it at $47 here for Bleach, for the cheapest Bleach. The cheapest season of Bleach runs $47. In the United States, you can get them for $24. So if you're an anime fan, this is an incredible price for a really good anime show. Definite recommendation on that one. Criterion Collection July sale, 49% off. Criterion's here. Again, like look at these prices. Recommendations, because I've talked about Criterion, so I'm not going to go into them too deeply tonight. Playing Flamingos, I really like. That's just a me thing. Raging Bulls here. Godzilla, the Showa era film collection for only 112. That's a really great price for that. We got newer stuff like The Virgin Suicides, The Girl Can't Help It for $19.99. If you're into that, there's no excuse not to pick that up. Men's Society, the 4K, the friggin' 4K is $24.99, and Once Upon a Time in China is down to $62. There's a ton of Lone Wolf and Cub. It's $49, guys. That's a great price. Dragon Ball Z. Looks like this one ends. Is that in 4 hours? Some of these are lightning deals, by the way. So Crunchyroll animes and series specials. $15 for seasons of Dragon Ball Z. For those that don't know or were unaware, this is a house of anime fans. If the Dragon Ball series, let's try Canada. See, we've got the entire Dragon Ball Z series, and we have Dragon Ball GT. We just don't have the original Dragon Ball series. So as you can see, it's $15 there, and it's like the cheapest season of Dragon Ball runs at $34, and that's not even every season. Looks like season one is at a print. It's just not my night, guys. Just not my night. I apologize. I'm going to get this funk. We got 15% off deals for some movies here. Stuff like Cineram's Wonderful World of Grimm. Both the Brothers Grimm. Not a bad price for that. Wayne's World 30th Anniversary Edition. Ziegfeld Girls. There's a lot of cool stuff there. For 30% off Disney. Oh, how much is $6 Man? I love $6 This is a Amazon exclusive one, actually. $149. Actually, not a bad price for this because this is the Blu-ray edition. That includes the movies, the TV movies, by the way, the pilots, which are nothing like the TV series. More of like a secret agent spy in the movies. Elon Arrow, Spagolu, and wow, there's only two things there. What the hell? Thanks. I see. We're Switch and Code Gaius. Where the hell are the other deals? That was weird. The Odd Couple for $46. That's a great price for that series. Actually, a classic series. Ghost Whisperer. I need season five. I bought from Walmart the first four seasons for I think under $20. So it's just the fifth season I need. So I'd see that coming for cheap. I'd get that. Drag Me to Hell from Sam Raimi for 24.99, which is an okay price. Nothing overly great. Um, we have Hang 'em High. If you're gonna hang him in, you better make sure you hang him high. Down Reanimator is here for $25. And remember, guys, this is pre-sale. The sale hasn't started yet. War of the Worlds Steelbook here. We haven't even looked at the omnibus stuff. We're gonna look at that too, by the way. So don't worry, Razor. We'll check it out too. We got Daughters of Darkness remastered, not the 4K, but the Blu-ray here for 24.99, 22.99. So that's not bad. 22.49. I'll get it right one of these days. Desperate Riders is here. Let's see if it says up above when this Amazon thing is starting for sure, so that I know I'm not going to be up half the night doing this. I love the fact that on the Amazon.com one, they got like a an influencer program. They got the influencer like doing reviews, getting ready for Prime Day. So this is who is this? Beauty by Carla. Really dig that. So let's look over here, by the way, to get an idea of Amazon.ca's. Because initially, when I came here 5 years ago, 12th and 3rd, well, it starts tonight at Wham. Supposed to start at 12 tonight. So, but I'm not sure at 12 what time. So I could be here like an hour early. But we're going to hit the deal store right here. Because what I'm going to show you guys now is, I guess, pre-prime sale prices. But because they always do a few days early, they'll start dropping sales between, like 2 to 3 days early. So let's see what we got on DVD and Blu-ray here in Amazon CA. Let's see if we have anything comparable to what you have there in the States. We used to get it. Deal of the day. No Time to Die exclusive box set for $149 for one movie. This better be freaking gold. So it's got a car. Some cards. What the This premium limited edition set is a must-own for die-hard Bond fans. It includes No Time to Die on 4K UHD Blu-ray and digital copy, and the official Aston Martin die-cast model with a numbered letter of authenticity, endorsed by No Time to Die Director. Also comes with 6 collectible cards. Which turns out to be. Does anybody think that's worth $149? Like, in all seriousness, it's cool, but does anyone think it's worth $149? Let's see. Okay. Here we go. When it starts, let's go to Market Watch. You just want to know when it starts. It'll be 3 a.m. I'm definitely like to be up for when it starts. That's for sure. Why did I get a message on my phone from Amazon telling me that it started at 12. Are Amazon lying to me? Would not surprise me. 12 Pacific. So yes, there we go. So 12 Pacific to ADT. Not 80, not EDT. Mother, did I say E? I don't think I said E. I think it's an A. 4 p.m. Monday. That doesn't make sense. Oh my God. 4 a.m. my time. Thank you, Razor. 4 a.m. in the morning. So I'm going to let this sink in for a second. I went to make this video now because I got a message on my phone that said it was going to be starting at 12. In doing so, I brought over my ring light, which broke my fucking PSP. Only to find out that it's 12 Pacific time. And since I'm going out somewhere tomorrow, this won't be, I'll definitely be up at 4 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. I'm letting this sink in for a second, guys. I'm just letting it sink in. What the hell? All right. Let's look at some of the deals that are going on right now and see. And we can come back tomorrow when I'm less pissed off and less sad. Because right now I'm fucking sad. And we'll see what the difference in the prices are. So we're gonna look at a few different things that are here. MVD does not, until MVD gets a freaking set starts shipping to Canada. Sorry, man. I'm so out of it right now. Okay. We'll check this out in MVD sale tomorrow, actually. So we got Double Indemnity here, Fred McMurray, Barbara Stanwyck, Edward G. Robinson. Of course, it's a classic film. One of Billy Wilder's greatest, and it is here for $44.90, which is not a great. It's 20% off. That's not a huge deal. There's some okay price inside. Llewellyn Davis for $35.97 is on here. Creepshow for $30. Really, still not a good deal because I bought this on Amazon for $12 when it initially came out. Though we do get some really cool stuff here. We have, of course, the underrated Oliver and Company. I'm going to say it's underrated. Why should I worry? Saying don't worry. Band of Outsiders, great movie. Band Apart. Oh, I got some vinegar syndrome here, guys. We have Justine. A, oh, this is good though. 22% off Star Trek. This is season three for 25.94, 64. It's actually I own all the seasons on all the original seasons on Blu-ray, and the first four of the new series as well. Survivor, if you want to buy some Survivor stuff. Let's go back to Amazon.com where you're going to get more deals. What I want to do is I'm going to look through different stuff. So let's put up the omnibus, see if there is any omnibus sales on here. Those aren't omnibuses. Those aren't even close to omnibuses. So let's see what's here. I will give you recommendations here. Hi, Rye. Heidi ho. Yeah, I, I I like that. I like that callback to one of my earlier videos, and that somebody remembers that I did that. 'Cause most people don't. All right, what do we got here? We have coming out. This is an amazing deal. Is there's a pre-order for Hulk by Peter David Omnibus Volume 5 for $61, which is a great price. Definitely recommendation on pre-ordering that, especially if you're collecting the Peter David stuff. And you guys know that I am. We got Daredevil by Miller and Jansen. That's been out of print for a couple of years now. Actually, a few years. 61.70. So it has a brand new cover too, by the way. So if you were put off by the original, kind of the way that the Daredevil with Miller and Jansen was done, this looks different than that. They got some boys on this there, and I like the boys, but these fucking suck. They suck ass. I do not want cover omnibuses on here. Let's get real bus. Okay, here we go. This is cool. Cat's Catwoman of East End, really freaking good. Um, X Men, the animated series, honestly, truly have to be uh, just a like a really diehard like X Men animated series fan for this, because all this really is comic books of of the episodes that you probably already own or you're watching on Disney Plus. But if you want like the comic book version of it, see, here's the thing: it has been a bit of a rough night. And people may be going for like legitimate reasons. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys right now. For the 16 people that are still here, thank you so much. For the people that left because I started talking about comic books, I guess they really don't like the channel at all. Tonight is the night that Aaron's gonna be honest. Or by Jason Aaron, $90.89. A very, very good story, a very good omnibus. And I'll be honest with you, from what my kids told me about the Thor movie, the best way to get the story. Because the Thor movie's okay, but it's not great. Aaron Unchained. Yeah. My favorite system breaks, Maddie. Um I start I come on here, try really hard, keep it going, try to do a cross section of all the things that I talk about. So, in all honesty, if that is seriously why somebody left, am I pissed? Yes, I'm pissed. A dumbass accidentally broke my goddamn system to do this. So, if there are some people that like only watch when I show a movie or Vinegar Syndrome or Severin, yeah, Aaron's gonna. I'm not sure if this video is gonna be up tomorrow, by the way. But let's be honest right now. Does that ever piss me off sometimes? Uh, it does. It really does. Because then you get to that point where you spend hours behind the scenes doing stuff here and working your ass off to try and figure out exactly what you're going to do on this channel to keep things going while you're doing everything that you can to work on like your editing and stuff behind the scenes, making different stuff, reaching out to people to get things done. and then feel like you're kicked in the teeth afterwards. Aaron Unchained is right. All right, let's get back to this. I'm sorry. That I did not mean to get that brutal. Question on this by Denny O'Neil. This is one I really got to mention. So, Denny O'Neil did a revolutionary look into a character that really, um, in all honesty, I never thought would get this type of in depth storyline. This is a really good story that goes in some really weird different directions. For me, the question is like this era of the question specifically really harkens back to what you'd see in the best days of the spirit from Will Eisner, in that it does things outside of the usual comic realm that you wouldn't normally see a comic book do, and goes in different directions with its writing and its style, and takes chances in the same way that an early the spirit Will Eisner would take chances in going in different directions. The question does that. This is volume one. What's really freaking cool about this one here is, and I'm sure I've mentioned this on here before, is that one of the things I love about the Marvel omnibuses, especially the Silver Age stuff, the Silver Bronze Age eras, when it comes to like Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man ones, and you got the Fantastic Four and a lot of the earlier stuff. They come with the letters pages, right? So every issue comes with this letters page included. And if you're actually a comic book fan, if you love comic books back in the day, if you're my age, like you read the comics and over again. Eventually, you'd go to the letters page, see what other comic fans thought, because there's no freaking internet to tell you exactly what other fans were thinking. You'd find out like through seeing the letters that were in the letters page, and in a lot of cases, that became. If you were gone and you came back, thank you so much. If you missed my rant, I'm not in the greatest of moods. I'm sorry, but I'm having a rough night, but I'm going to keep doing it. Um, is that DC doesn't include letter pages in the comics, in comic omnibuses. They haven't in a lot forever, and if they do, it's like one letters page or two as a special feature. The question omnibus, however, includes at the end with the special features every single letters page for every single issue of the question. And it's really important for the question because it really puts everything in context, and it really gives you an idea of what the audience at the time were thinking when they were reading it. So if there's anything that I can strongly recommend that you pick up if you're a fan of not just the comic medium but the medium, like in general, like the visual medium in general, check out the question because it's extremely well done. It is a great book. DC is killing it with their omnibuses lately, and the question is probably one of the best that they put out in the last 5 years. For those that don't know, yesterday was the official day that Conan was announced as being gone from Marvel. So right now, there's no more Conan like solo comics, no more special editions. They're actually doing a story in Savage Avengers, which I think is going to be taking Conan out. And by the end of the year, Marvel will have stopped production of all their Conan omnibuses as well. So what only anything that's been announced already, because we're already into announcements for 2023, is what is going to come out for Conan. You will be able to complete your Conan, the Barbarian collection, the Marvel Color Comics, but you won't get a completion of Conan, the Savage Sword of Conan. Well, you'll only be able to get as many as coming out by the end of 2022. But that being said, they were like magazines and they're not really serialized, so it's still a great cross section of Conan. It's just a shame that Marvel didn't weren't able to keep them. It looks like Titan has were the people that have taken over the taken over Conan. It'll be interesting to see if they do reprints, and if they do anything kind of in an omnibus style, and to see if they do it with the quality that Marvel did. Because if the Titan, the lights are going to shine really freaking big on you right now, because you're taking over a beloved franchise, and if you mess up, people are gonna let you know. I'm brutal tonight, guys. How's that? We're just gonna look at a couple more of these, and we're gonna go back to look at the movies. I want to look at some of the game stuff too. We'll look at some electronics, so we can get an idea of where things are right now. Onslaught, I love this. It's a '90s one. Like not everybody's gonna love the '90s stuff. I'm not gonna tell you you should get it. I love it. 100 bullets, million%. If you want to hear my Newfoundland accent, like really, like come into play. If you're here and you don't know I'm from Canada, or you don't know that I'm from Newfoundland, when I say this omnibus's name again, you'll 1,000,000% know what province that I'm from. So 100 bullets, omnibus volume 2. See, you hear that? That's the most Newfoundland I've ever sounded. Uh, Certain words make it hard. You can't that I just can't cover my accent on. I don't try to cover my accent, but sometimes it just happens. um, your reward shouldn't be over $67. To be bluntly honest with you guys, it's really small. Moon Knight by Houston Benson and Hurwitz. That's a great one. Moon Knight, the series, by the way, got me listening to Engelbert Humperdinck again. So for those that don't know, or those who watched the series and just didn't know, the series Moon Knight often starts out with him waking up to the same song over and over again, and it's of course "Every Time I Wake Up" by Engelbert Humperdinck. "Lonely is a Man Without Love." Every time. I'm not going to sing it, but you know what I mean. If you're into the Star Wars one, if you're into the Star Wars universe, Jason Aaron did an amazing omnibus. It is going to be 88.97. So, see, these are great prices, except for me, I'll give you an idea of what it would cost to do this. I would pay 88.97, which would go to over $100 in Canadian. Then, because I'm from Canada, it would if this is by Amazon, then they usually charge an extra $33 um, for shipping. Anybody ever wish that when you bought your Amazon Prime that it worked for every friggin' Amazon and not just one? Is that anybody else's pet peeve? Like if I buy an Amazon like Prime membership, because people buy from different Amazons, no matter what part of the world you're in. You can be in Canada or the United States. You can buy from Amazon Canada, Amazon US. You can go buy some stuff from Amazon .co.uk. Basically the British Amazon. You can go buy stuff from Amazon France or Amazon Germany, but you only get the Amazon Prime deals for the Amazon country that you're in. So you can only get the Amazon Prime. No, you can't. See, you can buy Amazon Prime for other countries, but you have to go out and buy Amazon Prime for every single Amazon. And that rips me. I order from a lot of different Amazons. Well, I used to before they started the whole the shipping thing. The shipping debacle wasn't always, by the way, in the US or in the UK. It used to be really good, but the fact that I'm buying an Amazon subscription. If I buy a Netflix subscription and I change my VPN to Netflix US or Netflix Britain, whatever, I can still watch Netflix. If I change my VPN on my Amazon Prime, by the way, you know what happens? It tells me you can't watch this now because you're outside of the country. And that, my friends, pisses me off to no end. Bezos has made enough money that he can give us a deal. Stop making penis-shaped rockets and give deals to people. If you like me going out the rails and being bluntly honest, please let me know. If you don't let me know. So right now already all the Amazon products will be on sale. Amazon Fire Sticks. If you're going to see sales come up for if you like the Amazon Fire tablets, you want to just get like They're good for like getting for your kids, especially you got younger kids, stuff like that. Not everybody can afford to buy like an iPad for say you got like say you got like 3 kids in your family. If you can afford, hey, Sin Arcadia, welcome, man. If you can afford to go out and buy like 3 iPads, one for each of the kids or whatever, fantastic. But if you want to just give them like a kind of a cheap and expensive stuff they can watch like their play some games on and watch some shows on, an Amazon Fire Tablet's not a bad idea. You get free international shipping for Amazon via Prime. See, I don't. Now that being said, how do you mean free international shipping? So if you go to Amazon CA, do you still get free shipping, or does it just mean that you get free international shipping if you're still buying with an Amazon.com? Because there's a difference. Because I can get stuff from like the book outlet, not the book outlet, the book depository, right, Matt? And that's in the UK. But I'm still buying from Amazon.ca. But if I go to Amazon.com and to buy the same product from the same company, it's going to cost me more because of the way just the way it's done. I haven't checked. Maybe there are some items. I'll check on that. You're watching Austin Powers. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all, man. So yeah, any of the the Amazon stuff you want, you want to get an Amazon stick or anything like that. Eventually, all of them will have like Xbox in them anyway. Xbox is controlling the marketplace. That's on my it's having like Xbox apps coming like new TVs and stuff. Sony TVs. It won't be in Sony TVs, so I would buy stick but in Sony TV. Hey there, Jazz. Welcome, man. For those that don't know, I lost it a few months ago, and because I'm having a rough evening. Is it weird that I want to go back and check my PSP again to see if it's going to be unbroken? Anybody ever have that? Like you get something and you know it's broken, right? Like you got it and you know it's broken, but you kind of want to go back and just check it to see maybe it somehow unbroke itself. Like it's not going to, but back in your mind you got this like kind of hopeful little voice that's like, maybe, just maybe, and then you go there and you look at it again and it's still broke. It's on Australia's items from US and UK. That's cool. I have to check to see if we have any here. I gotta check. I know I'm gonna check. Here we go. 'Cause buying them here where I'm from right now, well, not where I'm from, where I'm living right now, unfortunately, for some reason, retro gaming systems are insanely badly priced here. Uh, Now, if you're living out in Halifax or something like that, maybe it's better because you have like EB Games and stuff there, so there's competition, so you'll see things priced down. But I've yet to see priced as well as it was when I lived in Newfoundland. Now, if I was in Newfoundland, uh, I could pick up like the PSP for $80, usually around there, maybe a little bit less sometimes. But it's Canadian. Here, it would cost me about $200. One of the biggest like shocks for me when I came to Nova Scotia was noticing how certain things had changed because the options weren't there. Like there was no EB Games. You have to drive 4 hours to get to an EB Games. So much. I understand flickering, man. I'm going through mourning. I'm going through all the stages of grief right now. Um, I'm not even going to try and hide it. Like a lot of times I'll be like, okay, yo, I guess I'll hide it type thing. But no, I'm gonna be honest. You're getting honest at those honest, raw, uncut Aaron as you've ever gotten on this channel. So some people are gonna love it, some people are gonna hate it. And well, this deal is currently unavailable. You can find more great deals on our today's deals page. So it looks like they had a Amazon Prime like Kindle for kids, which is really cool actually. I actually have a Kobo myself, Kobo Clara. But I did have a Kindle before, not the kids version, but I did have a Kindle. And I do still read it when I'm out around because I always, got an omnibus. Can't take that around with me all the time. And do I 4 legs? So I have to shut this video off, guys. Is that where we're going? It's so old. It's a PSP. I think it's a 1000 too. It's not a 3000. Um, yeah, actually, Ice right now. Um, 27. Nice. Thank you guys. Right now it's I think Audible. You get 3 free months of Audible. So I'm gonna go to my phone here for a second because I got my Amazon on my phone. Obviously, I'm not signed in here. That would be kind of weird. Sending out my personal information. Let's go to Audible. See if it's there. Let's go right to Audible. It's only saying 1 month here, but I saw 3. I know I saw 3 months. I swear to God, if that's only US, I will freaking flip. Because I've wanted to get Audible for a while. Just because I read so much, and when I'm working, like if I'm not listening to music, I like to be able to listen to a book too. Especially when I'm like doing my editing stuff, or just setting up, just basically doing some basic intros and outros and that type of stuff. Looks like a video game prices here too, by the way. Keep an eye on this stuff. If you're a gamer at all, keep an eye on this because this is where you're going to get some great deals. This is where they usually have some really good deals at. I'm not seeing like a ton of stuff right now. Depending on the type of game you do, like my cousin's more of like a Mac PC gamer. Like he hates the controller pretty much. I'm a console gamer. Like I really can't get used to using like a mouse for gaming. I try, but I find it really hard. But you usually get a lot of deals here, and I got to do this. Hell am I doing tonight? I am crying. How am I doing tonight? Let's find out. Business I'm doing. It's just a material thing. Now I have 2 copies of SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 that I can't play anymore. And I just packed all my PSP games, Burnout, Prince of Persia, and Assassin's Creed. That's the thing. That's the thing. Well, let's look at this. So now we know that it's not going to be going on till 4 a.m. in the morning. There's not, in a goods place, JS, maybe $100. Not that I could afford 100 right now. In this area, more. Because there's no gaming stores here. Because there's no EB Games near us. I find that the people that do put stuff on tends to gouge. And may not be on purpose gouging, but there's definitely some gouging being done. It may just because, okay, well, this is to put it to you bluntly, like people are selling Game by micros. I would never go with eBay. I don't trust it. Electronics on eBay, JS, I'll never do it. I got to be able to see that damn thing in my hand. I'm not gonna. I'll wait and see what I can do eventually down the road. But some people are charging $160 on sale for a PSP Go. Like, are you fucking kidding me? It's a Go, the failed system. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. I was extremely happy today. We packed all the pictures up. We packed all the electronics. I was really careful to put all my stuff in. PS2 is in there. I should have packed it, but I wanted to keep it out because I wanted to use it when I was traveling. Let's see a guy fall apart on screen. Welcome to my life. Welcome. Now, TVs, if you're looking for TVs, that they should also be on a great. You should be getting some great price TVs when you're looking for. If you're looking to go up to 4K, then you should see a lot of TVs go on sale during Amazon Prime Day. Just be sure one thing when you're looking at the TV. There's one thing, especially if you're a gamer, if you're going to be spending or you're going to be looking at a TV, and you're going to be uh, you're thank you, Alan. You're going to be like looking to get a 4K game, like a 4K gaming system or 4K player. Um, just research the TV, and the one thing that you want to look for, and this is very important, is that TV has an HDMI 3.1 port, because if it doesn't, you'll get great streaming stuff in 4K. But if you attach a game system or a 4K player to the TV set, if it's a 3.0 or under HDMI port, it is not going to show it in true in HDR or in Dolby Vision. You're not going to get it. So it's just the same. If it's got a 3.0 port, it's the same as going out and buying a 1080p television set that just has a 4K streaming and streaming only. Because the second you attach a game system to it, or you attach um, a 4K player to it, you're going to get nothing. I'm just going to take me a second. My phone is dead. What a shocker! All my electronics today, and I got to plug this in, and then I'll be right back. I'm making tea. So yeah, that's the important thing to look for when you're looking at the looking for a 4K television set. I know a lot of people look at this stuff. So let's this one here. Got some Samsungs with QLED. I guess we do. Are any of these actual fucking sales that really here? Let's go here. Temperature stock. Don't care. Don't give a shit. So Amazon Fire TV 75-inch. I can see the why that one was stock. It's pretty. And let's see if it gives the information in below. Two point oh. That can't be right. Two point oh ports. The HDMI, when you say an HDMI ER 2.1, that's for audio. Net 2021. Let me just see here. Is it a new 2.0? Okay, here we go. Yeah. So we got a 2.0. Okay, which supports 4K resolution at 40 at 60 frames per second. It won't go to 120, but it'll go to 60 frames per second. Is that the right one then? I'm having a shitty night, Master Chaos. I'm ready to cry. I'm not even joking. Like anybody that's been here for long and stayed, thank you so much. Yeah, this TV I have a 2.0 port. That was 3.0 this my freaking night. Uh, so it's what when you're looking for a 4K television set, you want to make sure that you've got the latest port. It has to be the point one because if you don't, it is not going to play everything. The Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 are equipped with HDMI 2.1, and if your TV is a 2.0, uh, it's not going to play it. You're going to notice you're going to plug in your Xbox, and what's going to happen to your PlayStation, and you're going to go to your settings, and it's going to say that your television can't do this. Can't. Hey there, Piz. Welcome, man. Um, Master Cass and Piz, by the way, for those guys, everybody knows. But if you don't know, have amazing channels and are great people. So make sure that you subscribe to both of them and you check them on a regular basis. I do, and I really enjoy the stuff that they put out there. They are incredibly and they're nice people too. So that's always an extra like plus when it comes to this. So yeah, so this is really important. If you get a TV, so this one here, Amazon Fire has a 2.0. So 2.0 is basically means it's gonna play stuff, but it's not gonna play stuff right. It's not like, for instance, my TV that I bought a 65-inch Sony. I didn't do enough research, so you guys learn from my mistake here. So I'm in the process of looking for and buying a new TV. And the reason for that is that I bought an Xbox Series X and I want to be able to like stream with people on air. I'm actually taking up that master. Um, I just stream with other people on here and stream with my patrons. So like to play games, and I can still do it, but I just can't do it at the way that it should be done for an Xbox Series X player. It should stream in 4K. The gaming should, and thank you, Matt. I really appreciate that. Um, but when you go to the settings, it says can't play Dolby Vision, can't play at 60 frames per second, can't play at 120 frames per second, can't do any of this stuff, right? It clocks it in at around. They say it'll go 60, but it won't. It clocks in around 30, um, especially when you're gaming. So you really have to make sure that it's running with a 2.1 and you have to have the 2.1 compliant cable as well. So you gotta have the port and the cable. That's the way that'll work. If you don't, your 4K TV is gonna be locked to at a certain point. If that doesn't matter to you though, if you like 4K gaming and 4K like watching the movies like in true 4K doesn't matter, then you're good because the 4K TV anyway is gonna better picture. It's just that you want to make sure that if you're going to spend this much money on a TV, even if it's on sale, that it's going to be a TV that's going to be so you're not buying another TV in the next 10 years. Like this one here, for instance, it's out of stock right now. Yeah, at 75, it's a Fire TV from Amazon. So you think, oh, that'd be fantastic TV. They'll put up Dolby Vision. Oh, you can see it's Dolby Vision. You can if it's streaming. You can't if you buy a disc. So if you got a disc, a 4K disc, and you're waiting to watch it in Dolby Vision with Dolby Atmos, you'll get the Dolby Atmos because it comes from the speakers, but you won't get the Dolby Vision unless it's got a 2.1 port on it. Anyway, I spent too much time explaining that to you guys. I apologize, but you guys rock, man. But yeah, that's the difference to look for when you're looking for TVs because I know a lot of people buy TVs during like Black Friday and during Amazon times. So when that happens, just make sure that you look in that. You want a good cable. Hey, the Kubrick, and you want a good television with the right ports. So if you're buying a TV, just make sure you look at the ports as well. Uh, what a lot of people don't talk about on here much, and there's a reason for it. My PSP died. It correct. My so for those that don't, everybody here knows by now, except for latecomers. Uh, my PSP has been with me since before I moved to from St. John's to here. I play it on a daily basis, and I like literally a daily basis. And I actually bought two copies of certain games because I really enjoy the system, and I've been very careful with it because the area that I live in, systems are very expensive to buy retro systems. I've been lucked into a few. Like I lucked into a really good price on not on a PSP though. Never found a good price on those, but on some of the other the handhelds, some Game Boy stuff. But mostly when I go to Newfoundland, and hopefully I'll be able to find something there. But I was running to start because I and my ring light cable was caught up with, and I didn't notice it was caught with my PSP cable. So when I took my ring light, my PSP flew off onto the floor, and the battery came out. I was, oh crap! So am I going to need to get a new battery for this? How much is that going to cost? So I put it back in again, and I turned it on, and the screen was broken from the inside, and it would cost me just as much to buy a new one as it would for like to fix a screen. Unfortunately, especially around here, and I literally just packed my PSP games like today with some of my other electronics, and now I don't have the system to play the things on, and I'm bummed out. And it's not easy to freaking find nowadays. I thought I was gonna be able to like save up some money and get the Vita because that's my last system in the handhelds that I need to get to complete my freaking collection and of the ones that I want, the base ones. But now I can't, and I have to look towards maybe finding the PSP um, again. And I yeah, Kubrick. I People can tell you, I almost cried on here. It's stupid. It's just a physical object, but I'll never go eBay. Never go eBay electronics. Like some people do. I can't. I really can't. I only go with like trusted sources. I'm very, very. I've been screwed over before, so I it's got to be. It would cost too much, I think, in order to do it, because even like with because that type of screen, it will be an older screen, and they'd have to find it like in the right size. Um, I'm gonna try when I go to if I got enough money, I'm gonna try to go to Corner Brook. There's a gaming store there. I can't promise that they're gonna have them, but they're initially where I got my original one from, and I think the cost around 80 when I picked it up. It's probably the best gaming store that I've ever been anywhere, like in Canada, actually. So I'll check them. I'll keep you guys updated. Again, I apologize. I've spent way too much time talking about this and bitching. It's such a first world friggin' problem to have, right? With so much crap going on in the world right now, the fact that I'm upset about a gaming system is kind of ridiculous. But it's the truth. 4 o'clock in the morning, my time. Kubrick, you rock, man. Thank you. Is when this sale starts. So what we're doing right now is we're looking at stuff that's on sale. We looked at the new Fright Night 4K coming out. It looks really great. For those that haven't seen it, Real Genius also looks really good. We talked about the Fright Night 2 connection with Real Genius that John Grease is in it. So I really want to see them put out Fright Night 2. And that was asked why Fright Night 2 hasn't come out. I mentioned that it's be because of the whole Menendez brothers murder case. That's what that's what stopped Fright Night 2 from coming out because it was it was funded by the now like when obviously now deceased um Menendez, the father, and so that's why. So a murder actually is the reason that Fright Night 2 has not yet gotten a good release, but hopefully it'll eventually will get a good release. If you want any of the Amazon stuff, though, you're looking for like an Echo or a Fire tablet or tube or any or a Fire Stick or anything like that, these will all be on sale. This here says the Kindle Kids is on sale and it's over in 2 hours and 55 minutes. They're kind of a liar because you go here and look, bam, nothing there, nothing there. They lied to us. You lied to us, Amazon. Yeah, the kid was played by Val Kilmer, actually. So I'm going to dive into some other stuff. I'm sorry I've fallen off track. One of the things that I do want to mention, and I do want to talk about, is this. We have no official word or knowledge that there's going to be Halloween, the other ones come out in 4K. It's been rumored, but take it at that. Like the other Halloweens, like Resurrection, H2O, and all that, all of it is just rumors. There's no, as far as I know, like Piz might know actually better than me. But as far as I know, there is still no official release announcement for the other Halloweens. It's rumored that that October might be a date for them if they are coming out, but that is still the big caveat of an if. And on my channel, I don't like to deal with like with kind of rumors that aren't verified when I can. On Nerd Channel, do on Nerd Channel, a really nerdy channel. But there's some great stuff coming out in 4K. And I get asked a lot now, especially where a lot of people are upgrading to 4K TVs because now they are becoming less expensive. It's becoming a lot cheaper to get in. A lot of people are getting gaming systems, so they want to make sure that I would not doubt. I'm expecting some big announcements from San Diego Comic Con. That's when they usually do some really good announcements. So you see stuff like Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead here, not a remake, but kind of a sequel, I guess. in a way, it's not a requel, really. It's more of a, I guess it's a sequel because of the ending of it. But Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead, The Thing. There's been a whole ton of like releases that came out before, and I know Master Cass is definitely not a fan of like re-releasing stuff that he already owns, like on 4K, unless it's something that he really, really wants, which is understandable. And that's why I thought like tonight, and it had initially was going to be the primary part of my video. Sorry, guys. Was okay. Well, there's a movie that we like. You've got an edition of it, maybe about a couple editions of it. Do you need the 4K? And it really comes down to, in all honesty, do you want it? I know that seems like a pretty base answer. Before I'm going to go a bit deeper into that, but at that's the first thing to ask yourself is if you've got a DVD or a Blu-ray of a film that you like, and they announce that there's a 4K edition of it coming out. The first question to ask yourself, aside from what's the remaster like, the audio and the sound, the audio and the visual, especially really the audio is a high part of this. You say like a lot of people say films are a visual medium, and definitely there's that aspect to filmmaking, but anybody that says that films are a completely visual medium have never listened to the score of a film or watched John Carpenter's Halloween and just got to really really feel the way that a film that's well scored will make you feel. A movie like The Fog, for instance. And this is where I wanted to ask you. So before I go into this, before I talk about this a bit, some people left because I started talking about this. Women cast. Oh, cool. Exactly. Yeah, sound design is exactly part of how Citizen Kane works so well. Is there any people that are upgrading? Like the new Friday Night's coming out, by the way. The new Evil Genius coming out. There's these here Shout Factory, like 4K editions. Is anybody buying? Like, if you're there and you're buying like some of these or a few of these, uh, speak out and let me know. I have a couple questions for you. Like, you don't have to get like the gigantic, like $210 edition of a film. You can actually go and just buy the film itself for 4K. You don't always have to buy the vinyls and all that stuff. It truly is, and it is terrifying. Another a great example, JS, of what sound manipulating the viewer in the way that it's supposed to is Dario Argento's Deep Red. You thought I was going to say Spirit, didn't you? Which does a fantastic job. But Deep Red starts out with this kind of childlike. Good point there. Depends on the price and the extras. Oh, you've got to see it, man. Jess, you really got to see it. It's that with the childlike music that's very, and it's done to something like a horrific murder that happens at the beginning of the film. That's not giving anything away. It's right at the beginning of the film, and it will play out within the film itself. But we will get to see a darker, heavier sound throughout the throughout Deep Red, like an incredible like audio, an incredible soundtrack that will run you through the ringer with the with the score, and it does it the way that Carpenter does it, in that it masterfully knows where to place um, every single note so that you truly feel the film, and a good film really does it. Um, and often at times, this can be the difference between a good film and an okay film or a bad film. There's a lot of movies. Goblin did score Deep Red. So yeah, you're correct. Um, there's a lot of like when you look at the slasher genre, like let's look at the slasher genre for a second. When you look at the slasher genre and you listen and you hear things like and you see movies like that were scored like by Harry Manfredini when he did Friday the 13th, or John Carpenter when he did Halloween, or something along that lines. And then you look at some of the kind of knockoff like slasher films that came out around the mid 80s, and you can tell not only sometimes the acting may be a little bit like the acting in Friday 13th not always the greatest, right? But you had that Harry Manfredini score, and John Carpenter's Halloween. You've got that John Carpenter score. A lot of these ones there that are come to mimic and do like okay, let's make a slasher film. All we got to do is get some teenagers, get a mask, put a guy in a mask, make a movie. But one of the key elements that a lot of these films uh, miss out on, like that they do mistakenly, that they mess up, is they don't look at the score. They're looking at, okay, let's just push out a film as quickly as possible to kind of cash in on what's going on, and you can tell when you're watching the film because you will feel it in a good film, like when the score tenses you up, or when it's just like one of those cheap slashers that's shot on video or something like that with kind of a bad a bad score or no score at all. Because some people say, well, yeah, sloppy plays. Exactly. Anyway, I do want to kind of rag on that too much, but I just want to say that audio is very important, and one of the key components to 4K is is the fact that you get 4K sound, and the ultimate in sound is Dolby Atmos. So what that means is it is a kind of a spatial sound system, and what a spatial sound system will do, as opposed to a regular sound system like a Sonos or just a regular sound system that you get, like, is when with a regular sound system, what you get something that you put on your screen, right? And then you can buy woofers and subwoofers, and you can buy like a different allotment and put it around your house. Because you want to, and the more speakers, the better that it's set up, the better sound you're going to get. But with Atmos, you buy the Atmos system and that's it. You're not buying any more speakers or any more subwoofers or any of that type of stuff. There's no more to buy, because that system there kind of, it plays like a like theater sound does, and it plays off of the room that it is in, giving a much richer and deeper sound, as opposed to something that doesn't have it. The downside on that is, because of the technology and what it is and where we are at right now, it can tend to be very expensive. If you've got a 4K television set and you're running with Dolby Vision, Amazon Prime Day is coming up. Maybe keep an eye out, because we may see some stuff there. Oh, Saturn's Core. They do definitely do pretty much all shot and video stuff. Uh, Red Spirit Lake, Crazy Wildlife film. I don't know if I've seen that one, so you may be ahead of me on that one, man. But of course, picture is also going to be very important too when it comes to this. And when it comes to picture, when you're looking at a 4K film, picture is going to be most important and most noticeable in an older film. If you watch a movie in the theater and you go home and buy the 4K, and you're like, oh, it's don't we say putt differently? Well, do we? You can tell me. Here, putt. That's kind of how we say it. So I'm not sure if it's differently. Uh, but you can let me know if it sounds different. But you're going to want to. Where's that now with that? Until I lost my check for a second. I apologize. I'm off my game a little bit tonight. I do apologize. I'm trying to get back on my game, guys. I'm really trying really hard. Um, but yeah, the older films is where you're going to see the biggest increase in picture quality, because a good remaster of an older film uh, is going to be like, and you're gonna it's going to be very noticeable. But a good remaster of a film that just came out in the theater, it is what it is. It's probably shot in 4K or 6K anyway, so it's not going to look much different than you saw in the theater. Um, so there's no big like shocking upgrade usually. You get some really good films, really good remasters like in there, and you just could have good sound and good audio. But when you're getting 4K first, you want to look at the earlier stuff. You want to look at the earlier films. You want to look at the Halloweens or the Men's Society, stuff like that. No, Kubrick, don't even, never bothers, man. I think Canadians say putt like Americans say the golf term putt. Exactly. Uh, that is, we do. Um, I remember when I went to I went to London, and I found out that we say some words like kind of wrong. Uh, uh, well, I usually kind of like lean towards the British to actually get the words right. So uh, there's some words that we say, like we say aluminum here, uh, and that's not the way they say it over there. Uh, the way they say it makes sense, actually. But there's like words that we say that literally, like, it does not look like the word should be said the way it is. It's just like I grew up in North America, so that's the way that I'm used to saying it. Anyway, sorry, I got off on tangent. Well, hopefully pot. Yeah, I wouldn't poot. Poot? Like like poot means something totally different in Kent. um, but what? How do you feel about the latest? But the latest craze, for instance, of like movies coming out like with 4K edition. Some people are can be a bit upset that, for instance, okay, there's a 4K edition of a movie, but like, where's the new movies coming out? And other people will say like, okay, it's fantastic, but like Master Chaos, who is, I'm not sure if he's still here or not, but he definitely gets upset about the fact that he paid, but he paid a good amount of money to get a subscription to Vinegar Syndrome. And for him, where he has a lot of the movies that are coming out now on Blu-ray, that are coming out in 4K, it's not a worthy, it's not worth it for him, because he's perfectly fine with what he has. And there's a lot of people that are going to have that same thought, that okay, I got the Blu-ray of it, I paid like $30 for it before. There sometimes there'll be negligible like extras and special features and that, but just like having a 4K edition of something, for some people it's not going to be enough. And I can understand for some people why Master Cast would be like, okay, it just kind of bums me out, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to get a subscription like next time around. Where I'm on the other side of that kind. um I'm like the I guess the Ebert to Cisco, or vice versa. Where for me, like that's a tremendous. That's something I'd be tremendously excited about. I wish they were doing that last year when I had a subscription to Vinegar Syndrome, and like the basic reasoning for me is that, one, these are, if it's in my collection, it's usually in my collection for a reason, because I like it. And so if a company puts out a 4K edition of something and I know that I'm getting it, or if 4K edition comes out that I know I can afford to get, people ask, well, why buy something that you already got as opposed to buying something that you mightn't have? But which, of course, it's a great, it's a great way to look at it. You look at the pluses and minuses. Um, but the one thing I can say towards that, and I'm going to get some tea, so I want you guys to actually, I want some comments. I really want some comments on this. It's a proven commodity. If I have something in my collection, it's in my collection for a reason. If I spent enough money to buy something, like if I bought like a Halloween or a Friday the 13th or Black Christmas or The Fog, I bought it because those were movies that I really loved, and I tried to get the best edition that was possible at that time. I'm not going to be upset that experience that like things have changed, and now we have the technology to make it even better. Well, I'm going to choose. Fair experience watching movies usually are in theater. If 4K can bridge the gap between Blu-ray and cinema visual experience, then I'm all for it. That's exactly what 4K is supposed to do. Now, it doesn't always work that way. Flicking away, like all depends on the remaster of the film. But for somebody that's watched a lot of movies in the theater, and especially a lot of the earlier movies in the theater, a good example is: did you ever pick up the old Blu-ray or even DVD edition of, especially DVD edition of the of Friday the 13th Part 3 for Friday the 13th 3D, right? If you have, then you know that the original DVD edition where the 3D came out first was pretty crappy, right? And when the Blu-ray one came out, it was better. But when the 4K edition of Friday the 13th Part 3D came out, the 3D was insanely good. Probably because it went from a analog GIF 3D to an actual cool passive 3D. So you actually got real 3D from real 3D TV. But again, truly, something to think about, right? I'll be back. I just got to grab my tea. It was soaking. I just got to put some milk in it. And I want to read all these comments out because this is the type of conversation that I want to have. And I'm also going to hide my PSP from my site so that I'm not looking at this and crying anymore. Uh, I promise it's my last talk on it, but we're gonna do this talk. I really wanted to make this conversation. I forgot about it, so I got to rebuy the kettle. So let's go on with this. Let's put a cool little 3D picture on screen when we do this. Jess says, you think that there should be two options with the subscription. 4K upgrades being optional, like a separate box you tick. Understand, it might be a little bit hard to like figure out the pricing for something like that. But if there's enough noticeable like pushback, hopefully they keep doing them and offer that as opposed to not doing them at all. Razor said, I don't think Vinegar Syndrome should be concerned with what other labels have released in the past. They should release what they want to release in the best quality they can. And that's pretty much my take on something like this. Is releasing it in the best quality that you can. My channel was initially called Movies on the Rock for those that have been there 10 years ago. But it's called it's called a cinema. And so that means I am all about the cinema and the cinematic experience. Personally, try not to rebuy things, always up for discovering new things. I get that too. But there is something to be said, Ice, for a proven commodity. That's the that's the thing, right? It's always something to be said for a proven commodity. I appreciate that, Alan, but it's very much a first world problem, and I'll definitely take care of that. Hopefully be able to take care of that myself. But I very much appreciate the sentiment. That means a lot that you said that, by the way. One of the neat things here too is like what's said, like when it comes to a 4K, people are saying if you can make the most of your 4K TV to watch your favorites, they'll go for it. And that's the killer part. That's the really fun part. Be right back. My tea actually is done. There's a good conversation to be had at at exactly Yeah, Maddie's saying there he goes deep and invites some Blu-rays that he have on DVD. Like that'd be a really special 4K version of Breaking One and Two, or like the Boogaloo for me to upgrade. What if, for instance, Maddie, like here, I'll put this to you. What if, for instance, those films came out, like in all seriousness, and the 4K came with soundtracks for those films? Like not only would you have them in 4K with really great like audio, but say they brought in some new interviews and some soundtracks, maybe a special feature on the actual like the the thing, basically the whole like fad of breakdancing at the time. Where JS is on the opposite side of things, and he tries to part with DVDs as soon as he can, unless there's a Blu-ray is missing a big chunk of features, and that does happen. Like the DVD to Blu-ray upgrade from the Entity, the DVD edition of that had more features than the Blu-ray did. Another example of that is, for instance, when Shout Factory got the rights to do Amityville 1, 2, and 3 on Blu-ray. They put it in a set, and you actually got to see Amityville 3 in 3D with some extra cool features, actually, especially being put on the second film. But what you didn't get was that in the original DVD edition of the Amityville set, when they had 1, 2, and 3, there was a fourth disc that had some History Channel documentaries that were really good on there. And some people actually went out, myself included, and looked for that bonus disc that came with that Amityville set. So even though I bought the new one because I needed that DVD set with those History Channel documentaries. But actually, I couldn't think for no reason. Some can be one day one purchases, and others can wait. It's a set of priorities that has to be different for each person. And that's the thing. So every time something gets announced in 4K that I already have in blue, it's not automatically a buy. New features can be brought to the table. It'll definitely persuade me to purchase again. And I think for that, like that's a key part of it. And like what Matt says here about like he's bought 4 times. Like we're looking at a 4K edition coming out of Fright Night. And for those that don't know my channel, like I'm a huge fan of Fright Night, the original Fright Night, especially. I own it. I own the Eureka version. I own the Twilight Time version, and I think I own the Sony version as well. Shame on you, Scream Factory. One up that a lot of people came to my channel from that, Alan. That was Nightbreed. I actually did on my Patreon. I did a rewatch of that recently. I'm gonna do a couple more rewatches for older videos, so keep an eye out for that. Because I had a lot of fun doing that. I cringe watching myself. I really do. I don't like watching my videos, but for the fun of the channel, I've added those videos in there. Saturday, I was supposed to put up a new Saturday Morning Memories with Disconnected that will be going up this Saturday instead. The reasoning for that basically is because this Saturday right here, we ended up doing a lot of work around the house, and I didn't get a chance to even like go to upload anything to like I've got it already downloaded and it's ready to go on my YouTube channel. But I even just to press the button, and I don't want to put it on. It's a really good video, by the way, and I'm very proud of it. And Ryan did a great job. So I definitely want to put that up on a Saturday. So that one will go up next Saturday, and Monday after that I will be putting up the like what scares you. If that doesn't go up earlier, that might go up earlier. That's the thing, like a Prince of Darkness. Like Prince of Darkness is a personal favorite Carpenter film of mine. Now that being said, I have a really like to use the word again, personal connection to Prince of Darkness. It's one of the movies that my dad saw in theater with me. For the unaware, I grew up with my grandparents. I didn't grow up with my mom or my dad. So basically, what happened for me is like when Prince of Darkness came out to get on Blu-ray, I got it right away, and one of the reasons being because I wanted to have that experience and feel that feeling that I felt when I watched the movie with my dad. I didn't get to watch a lot of movies with my dad when I was a kid, so going to the theater and watching a horror film with them was a huge deal for me. Prince of Darkness had a special place in my heart because of that, and I'll probably upgrade to the 4K eventually because this is something that I do want to be as close to cinematic, as close as was in the cinema as possible, because it does remind me of my dad. Do I think Sony will release standard editions of Fright Night or heavy metal, or will it just be the steel books? I think they're going to gauge JS basically on sales. I always think that they'll eventually get it out there with regular editions. See, I don't mind steelbooks, but I've never been a huge proponent of steelbooks. I'd rather have an edition where I can have like reversible artwork or a hard box, uh, because steelbooks get bent and dented and scratched, and as good as you try to keep them, I'm very OCD about this stuff, JS. Um, so that's definitely something that is a serious consideration when I'm looking at the films that I buy. I do like the fact that the 4K of Heavy Metal had the sequel film on Blu-ray. I don't think that it needed to be on. People wonder, like, so didn't the second Heavy Metal film really need to be in 4K? If they'd seen it, they're probably going to say no. Lone Ranger box set. I love that one. I can't remember what hat I wore during the Lone Ranger one, but there's what Alan means is there's a time in my early videos, because Alan's been watching for a while, that I wore like hats. I was much more self-conscious about, like, I don't have a lot of hair, and I thought, okay, maybe if I wear different types of hats, that'll be like a my calling card. So, so at the time, I guess I wasn't confident enough in my voice. And when I say my voice, I mean like my actual voice, but what I was putting across, my brand voice, that I didn't need to gimmick it up a bit. I guess is the best way to put it. To be honest with you, like my RoboCop 10, even though I love my vintage RoboCop era, my favorite one. I love that the RoboCop that came out from Arrow Video. They put out this amazing edition. As a Blu-ray edition, it was sent to me, and it is so gorgeous. It's got a hard box, and it's got it's got a book and a poster and some cards, and it's just so good. That I'm like, do I really need RoboCop again in 4K? I love RoboCop. Will I get it in 4K eventually? Maybe, but that's one of the ones where for me, it's going to be a price check where I'm going to be like, okay, can I get this at a good price? We had a really good edition of Flash Gordon here. It actually had some artwork in it. It kind of came out, and my better half's a huge Flash Gordon fan. That's one of her favorite old time movies. Older movies, I guess. The one with Sam Jones. But the second that the Flash Gordon was announced to be coming out in 4K, it was immediate. Like, she didn't even blink. Like, and him is somebody that it's very, she'll think twice, especially when it comes to, like, when I say, hey, we should get this, she'll be like, do we really need this? We'll have big conversations, like, okay, we'll do kind of pros and cons on stuff that we want to get. But when Flash Gordon came out on 4K, immediate, like, she was like, yeah, we need this. Same thing because I'm a huge fan of Phantasm. So the second that Arrow announced a Phantasm box set with a big, spear in it, like, she ordered it right away. She said, "I know this is going to be something that you're going to watch for years to come." She's right too. And this is what it should be like when it comes to cinema in general. What you're looking at, it's great to get the newest thing, or the new slipcover, or the shiny, or the newest shiny release. But the thing is that it's got to be something that connects with you. It's great to, like, explore and to find new things, and which I do recommend, and do. I think that the people should do, but things are getting to a price point right now where I do think that curating your collection is important. Um, so if you say, okay, I want to get every Vinegar Syndrome title or every Severin title, that's fantastic. You've decided that this company has put out enough quality product that you want to have every single one of their titles and their spines right along in your movie shelf, which is great. And if that is truly the way that you want to go with it, but you may be along the lines of, like, okay, I like this company. I like Vinegar Syndrome or Arrow or Severin, but I don't like everything they put out. So I'm going to pick and choose what I get, especially right now when things are getting things that are being brought back in 4K with new editions, whether it be a steel book or a hard box or extra special features. You really have to look at what you not just what you can afford, because that's obviously a thing right now. Like, prices have gone crazy for a lot of things at this point. Um, and be blunt, uh, it's we're headed pretty much towards and like a recession time. So curating what you're collecting can be very important right now. And that's one thing that I will try to do when it comes to the channel. I don't just want to be here to show you like there's a new sale coming or this new movie's coming out. I still want to talk about and do, to be bluntly honest, there you go, about t-shirt giver, uh, to talk about stuff like that. But also, I want to be able to say and help you guys and help myself in making that right decision, because it's important. I don't want to be pimping out everything and saying, okay, this all these fantastic releases, grab all these releases. Uh, I want to be able to look at you guys and say, okay, these, and sometimes things are going to excite me more than others, and that's going to be personal preference. I like Phantasm a lot. Kubrick just said, "Yeah," which is fantastic, because that means like there's a film, like many films out there's going to elicit different responses from different people, and that's fine. So I may be excited about a film and about a release. For me, for instance, I'm very excited that the Fog is coming out in 4K. I'm very excited that Fright Night are coming out on 4K. But I do own them. And if you're not somebody that's like me, that's or a big Fright Night fan, and you've already got like the Eureka edition or the Sony or the Twilight Time edition, they were loaded with features. So you may have the best edition that you want in your collection. That's fine. I'm not here to change your mind on that. I'm just here to let you know some stuff that I think is interesting that's around. And there's going to be times when I'm not going to hear stuff, and I'm not going to know everything that comes out right away. And when those times come, and you guys are here, and like as always, you guys will mention, "Oh, this is it." Ken was in here early on, and he said, "I'm excited the Fright Night 4K is out." So I hadn't even really thought about it. I'd seen the announcement, but I never even thought about talking about it on the channel tonight. And even though I was talking about 4K, and I literally called this Halloween, should you upgrade? Uh, and why did I choose the name Halloween over any other 4K to go with this? Because there are rumors were out there about like the other Halloween movies coming out in 4K. No, no, there's no knowledge of it actually coming out. It's just like rumors at the at the base level of it. But that being said, there's still 5 Halloween films out there that are in 4K. There was a Halloween box set that came out years back. There were 2 versions of it. In fact, there was one that had a bunch of special features and a bunch of extra discs, and there was a one that was kind of a streamlined one for people that just wanted to have the films but didn't want to have the special features. They missed out on certain versions of the films, but for some people, that was the edition that they wanted. I grabbed on the first day, and I was late for work doing it. The big edition of the Halloween box set. So when the 4Ks were announced, and there was a few years in between, like the announcement of Halloween box set and the 4Ks, um, you don't always get that. Sometimes you get an announcement for a film, and then like 6 months later, like the 4K will come out, and people can be rightfully upset at that point, where when you're looking at, oh man, I just bought this movie, I spent like $50 on this movie, now it's out in 4K. Am I going to spend more? And this happened when Suspiria came out. So Synapse put out Suspiria, and he put out a big, like it wasn't a cheap edition. He put out a big Blu-ray edition of Suspiria for $50 in Canada. I'm not sure how much it costs in the US. It costs $50 in Canada on sale. I think it probably costs around $75. If I was going to be honest with like at a regular price. um, but the thing is, that I think the thing is that I definitely wanted to upgrade to 4K, and in a lot of cases, some of these Halloween films didn't have many special features. It was really only the fifth film that had like a significant special feature, which was the opening that the alternate opening that wasn't on the Blu-ray edition. If you picked up, even if you picked up the big DVD box set, that wasn't on there. Oh, what did I say about uh, Phantasm? Oh, it's pretty simple actually. Basically, I said that the real cool thing about like uh, films and film is in general is like basically I can have a love of a film like Phantasm. You can be mad about it, but it's great that that any film like film, whether it's Phantasm or Friday 30, whatever, can elicit such different reactions from people, and very cool to when that's one of the joys of cinema. So when they came out, when the 4Ks for Halloween came out, I was like, "Do I need these?" So, like, I bought the set. And I spent a lot of money on the Halloween set, and I initially said, "Well, I'm going to get Part 5," and I don't have Part 5 yet. But and about a year earlier, um, Halloween had come out on a fairly bare bones release. Not totally bare bones, but like no, it wasn't a big edition release from the parent company. I think from Lionsgate, and I bought that for like just under $20, probably $12, I think it was. It was on sale. But I go to Walmart and I see Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 in these big, like hardbox editions, 4K Shout Factory. And I'm like, do I need them? Do I like? Is this something that's going to get rewatched in my collection? And for some films, if this would have been like another film, it would be a no. But for Halloween, I looked at him and I was like, I want to grab one of these, but I really don't know which one to pick because Halloween, much like Friday the 13th, much like Nightmare on Elm Street, are movies that are continuous rewatches for me. I watch them on a regular basis. With so many films that are out there and so many weird films that I watch, these are my comfort films. They're films I go back to. So picking up Halloween on 4K for me, even for a second time, was it was a no brainer. And she was like, "You like this is the franchise you got were late for work for. This is the one that you stayed outside of Future Shop for over an hour waiting for it to open up, so you could buy the Halloween box set. Buying the Halloween 4K for you, even though you got the box set, isn't just an, you buying something because there's another edition out or because there's a different edition out there. It's a proven commodity. It's something you love. It's something you will watch. It's not a waste." And Hin's very like honest when it comes to stuff like this. Whether she thinks, okay, I'm buying something, if I'm rebuying something that I already own, do I really need it, or is it just a waste to buy something that I already own? And for some movies, the truth of the matter is, I pick up an edition. It's pretty much the same, a different cover, different slip. Like, really, did I really need it? Type of thing. And there, I've made the mistake of doing that. And often, if that happens, what happens, for instance, is it goes to my cousin or goes to my kids. I when I was doing it in the films, there's a whole bunch of like older anchor based stuff and stuff that I already upgraded and got better, different editions of that. My Scanners Cop movies went to Raj. My Silent Night, Deadly Night double feature from Walmart, from that Anchor Bay put out, went to the goes to the kids. Um, so because I already, I've got them, I've upgraded them to with the Scream Factory editions of those, and then it comes to that point of like, okay, you've got the Scream Factory special editions of Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2. Would you go out on day one and buy the 4K edition? of Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2? Probably not. I love the films, but when it came to Silent Night, Deadly Night, unless there is something extremely big on there, the way that I feel about the edition that I got for those films is that they put out definitive editions of both those films. And I truly think that anything else that comes on Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2 could be pretty, what's the word I'm going to use? Superfluous. Um, because these films literally had a disc of a whole like behind the scenes making it from like conception right to the after part of the film. And when you're that in depth, that's pretty much exactly where you want to be. That's the sweet spot. But if you watch Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 or 2, for instance, the way that I watched Halloween or Friday the 13th, then I would 1,000,000% understand you saying, okay, that's the day one buy. Features or not, that's the day one buy for me because I just want to have that as close to cinematic experience as I can. Me, I want to get a Blu-ray or a 4K of Silent Night, Bloody Night because that has never gotten a really good edition. But I think that those others have had definitive editions. You guys are pretty quiet here. I'm hoping that some of this is interesting. But it's something that I thought I kind of need to talk about because there's been a lot of conversation recently on the channel about 4K releases, and there's so much 4K being announced now that I think it's really good to talk about it. I thought about bringing Master Cast in there, but he just didn't. He was silent. So yeah, exactly. Like, I got copies. Like Matt, like somebody sent me a copy of Silent Night, Bloody Night with like a sequel or remake attached to it. Actually, thank you, Cam. I appreciate that, man. I apologize for being like pretty in a crappy mood when I started, but like things happen at the beginning of my video that really. If you watch my video and I'm like ranting, you just skip it over. uh, I would understand. Get to this portion of the video. I want to go in and like I might, but I don't want to go in and edit it out because it seems disingenuous if I do. And I truly like for this channel here, to be honest with you guys, I do want to make this as much me as possible. Warts and all. Not on streaming, only on physical media. I love that they did this. So this here is a very smart branding and marketing when it comes to show factor, screen factor right here, is that they have a section here that's called not on streaming, only on physical media. So that means this is going to be on your Tubi, it's going to be on your streaming services like your Netflix or your Shudder or anything like that. These are movies that are only available on physical. And for those that saw the recent Sony thing that happened, and I spoke about them before here and before. So, but for those that don't know, here it is from. No, I don't want to have out notifications. Is that Sony is getting ready to pull hundreds of purchased movies from people's PlayStation libraries without any refund that are aware of at the time. Sony blamed the unfortunate situation on evolving licensing agreements with content providers, which in this case was Studio Canal. Severed Arm. Dude, I gotta see if I got that, man, Matt, because I've been wanting to watch the Severed Arm. Like, I want to buy the Vincent edition one of these days. But if I got an edition of it, that'd be cool. I'll do Morocco actually if I did. Uh, so as of August 31st, 2022, due to our evolving licensing agreement with our content providers, you will no longer be able to view your previously purchased Studio Canal content be removed from video library. We greatly appreciate your continued support. We're so far they're aware of legal notices being posted in Austria and Germany. So this affects those two regions at minimum right now. There is no notification that it is being done so far as I can tell, in North America as well. But that's a start. If you bought a bunch of movies digitally at the PlayStation Store, and this can happen to any place where you buy digital films at. No, I collect Omnibus is my preferred one, Cam, but I collect trade paperbacks, I collect regular floppies. Obviously, I couldn't wait for Nick Spencer's run to come into Omnibus, and I didn't think it was going to come as early as 2023. But yeah, when the whole Sinister War was going on, and the whole crux of who was Kindred, I was going to my local comic shop regularly to pick those up. I have like several long boxes of comics that I actually got packed. I actually got to buy a couple long boxes to go with me. Thanks for asking that, by the way. Anytime but somebody asks a question outside of movies that's about like movies or gaming or something, or comics or gaming, I really appreciate it, because I work really hard to kind of get the thought of comics thing underway. And the fact that I'm now speaking to a couple book companies, and to the point where I'm getting some book review, that has been like super good. Like there's I'm getting the Masters of Makeup Effects coming by Howard Berger and Marsha Julius, and I've already got like the PDF to read through it. And there's a couple cool intros. There's a forward by Del Toro, and there are some incredible pictures, some great stuff, like some early stuff from. You got some pictures here from Lon Chaney. We got Charles Lawton here as the Hunchback of Notre Dame. They just show some incredible stuff, and they go through a lot of different makeup effects. It is so cool. As a guy that read those Tom Savini books back in the day, remember this Tom Savini? He did these two Grand Illusions books. Yeah, think of it along that line. But it deals stuff, not just horror. It deals with a lot of different stuff. And if you're a movie makeup geek like I am, and you love your practical effects, you're gonna have this. I'm not even joking. You're definitely gonna have this. It's coming in September. The company reached out to me. It's the second time that a company has reached out to me for film books, and I contacted them immediately. I saw the email. I contacted them immediately. I said I definitely want to, and looking at hopefully having a couple of the authors on the channel, even if it's just for what scares you, and the kind of. Oh, definitely promote. These books are amazing. They got they show some figures that were done. I unfortunately can't show you guys yet because it's not coming until September, and until I know what I can show, I can't, and I will be doing a full review and unboxing of them, because holy crap, they go in depth, and there's some cool gore stuff. If you're a gore fan too, there's some cool gore practical effects there. Anyway, so I got off topic, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm extremely excited about this, and the fact that it's co-written by Howard Berger from Canby Effects. Yeah, just put it to you this way: if you are somebody that grew up with Fangoria and Gorezone, Masters of Makeup Effects, A Century of Practical Magic, it's going to be in your collection. But yeah, the fact that there's so many like movies, like and people say, "What's Austria and Germany?" It's not here in Rue Morgue. I love Rue Morgue. I think I love Andrea as an editor. Javanka was a great editor as well for Rue Morgue magazine. Now, Rue Morgue peeved me off when he originally started Cam because they took to putting Friday the 13th, and one of the very early issues, doing a cover of Friday 13th and saying, okay, this is a Friday the 13th issue. To only go in and have somebody come in and literally make fun of the franchise, Friday the 13th franchise, that they literally sold their issue on. That editor didn't stay totally too long, but that was a bad decision. And I love Rue Morgue. Like they are for me, like for a long time. They were when Fangoria was gone, for instance, they were like what Fangoria like originally was when I was a kid. And these aren't just small movies that are gone, by the way. John Wick's gone, like from the PlayStation Store in Germany and Austria. And if you bought it, it's gone. They take it off your system. All Dogs Go to Heaven, Apocalypse Now, Cruel Intentions, Dear John, Long Shot, Saw, all Saw. It's 1 to 7, right? So that's a ton of stuff. So when you're looking at this, like not streaming only on physical media, it's kind of important. It's an important thing to look at. Let's just view these. Look at some of these films that are only available on physical media. And I will definitely give some recommendations on some of these here. So Abominable Snowman of the Himalayas is a Hammer film. And one that my dad actually knew, like definitely he saw this in theater more than likely, but he's the one that told me about it. I really like this. It definitely is goes for the less is more in like not showing, but it's hard to get a good Abominable Snowman movie. Abominable's still my favorite, but this is a really good one, and it's got Peter Cushing, guys. Alligator People is a lot of fun. Alone in the Dark is a great movie. If you don't own this one, and I don't, it's a shame. I don't own this movie right now. It's one that I definitely have to buy eventually. And chance for you to make to the Fantasia Film Festival this year. I would love to actually, but unfortunately, Cam, right now, we're in the middle of like packing like from Morocco, like not to go as of yet, but actually to get our stuff over there probably 6 months to a year before we do. So right now, like unfortunately, right now it's a hard time to get too far, but eventually I'll be able to get to some film festivals. I'd like to get to Fantasia sometime. If I ever get to Morocco, if it ever happens, by Cam, there's a Marrakesh Film Festival that's there that is run by Martin Scorsese that I would definitely be checking out. And if I can do some footage and filming there, I 100% will. I would love to go to Fantasia. I'm not sure if you're near that area. If you are, we'll have a coffee whenever I get out there. I will let you know. But yeah, I'm trying to get out to more and more, when I can. A while back, a few years back, there was a few YouTubers that were going to do a kind of a VidCon type of convention type thing. It didn't happen. Some people moved and that type of thing, but it was mostly they're mostly UK. But I was one of the I guess the few North American people that was invited to do the to go to it, like to be in attendance, kind of to do I guess do a talk, I guess. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. Are you from Texas? Okay, cool. That's where beat 'em ups used to live. I'm a big gamer, so beat 'em ups one of my favorite channels. When it comes to that type of stuff, every year from Fantasia Film Festival. I don't know if you ever went, Cam, but I used to go to the Montreal Comic Con, and for a while they had it attached to something called the Montreal Fright Fest, which was a horror convention that happened there. Uh, they actually premiered the Tom Savini documentary about his life, a very different version of the documentary than you got to see on Shutter eventually. At the Montreal Film Festival for the first time, the very first cut of it with Savini in attendance to give like a to talk, to do a question Q&A at the end, and to do an intro before it happened. So if you were there, for instance, I was there. I was in the audience, and I spoke to Savannah earlier in the night. So That's why I have such good, like, when people say, "Well, Savannah, like Tom Savini, like it was a jerk," but like I had great experiences with Tom Savini. From there and from earlier on, we were talking about what's the movie we talked about? Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. Yeah, and a little bit conversation on his version of Night of the Living Dead too. I would love to get to a Fantasia Film Fest. It just what happened it would where I was working at the time, and my job didn't give me a lot of time off. The first time I went to a Montreal Comic Con, like Stanley was there, and I aside guys, um, he and my I was going there, and my boss at the time. I just started my job. Okay, to put this into perspective, and I said, I'm going to the Montreal Comic Con, and I'm going to be there for for these dates." And my boss at the time, I was kind of cocky, I guess. Was like, we'll definitely try, and make sure that you're able to go." And I said, well, "That's nice. Like, thank you for trying, but just so you know, between this date and this date, I won't be in the province. So it doesn't matter how many times you call me, I am there." So- but yeah, that was years ago, and they kept me on at the job, and I actually did really good there. Might be going to see Zoom film screening. Nice. You're going driving to Philly, and might be the Enforcer and the Pussycats. That's gonna be cool. But yeah, that's and in actuality, that is I'm pretty laid back. That's my real personality. Okay, Alone in the Dark for sure, 100%. Speaking of Stanley, he's in the ambulance actually. This stars Eric Roberts. I really like the ambulance. I actually really liked Brave Little Toaster. I didn't know there's three of them though. I think I knew there's two of them, Dallin. But I think my youngest had the Brave Little Toaster, the original. And I watched with them a few times. Um, so I'm not a fan. I love animated films. American Gothic. Only still have the DVD of this one. I so like this movie. It is so weird. You got Rod Steiger and Yvonne DiCarlo. It's just one of those. Literally, American Gothic is the perfect title for this film. There'd be two TV shows that also share this title, but have to love this. And 1,000,000% recommendation for Bad Dreams Visiting Hours. Like if you don't own these, uh, and at the end of the day, like Bad Dreams Visiting Hours does seem like something that might. No, they said the right, so I guess it can't come from out on 4K. So not yet, but this is a really great double feature. It was good. I really like Gary Cole playing almost like Satan, right? I like the other American Gothic too. It was a murder mystery series that was done, and unfortunately didn't get a second season. Shows named American Gothic, Maddie. Unfortunately, don't tend to do that well. One of the cool things about American Gothic though is like Sam Raimi did an episode of this. I'm pretty sure we did, because I think Bruce Campbell like got butchered in the episode of American Gothic. Uh, Raimi is always like, okay, what hell can I put put my good friend Bruce Campbell through this time? We got the big bust out here is a women prison movie, Richard Burton and Bluebeard. It's an okay film. The Bodyguard Werewolf. This is of course the original, not the remake one that was done. I actually really liked. I know people think this is kind of tame. 15.97 is a great price though. I do like this movie. I will tell you, it is a tame werewolf film. I think it's a PG werewolf film, but it was good. I mean, it's got this. The concept is basically there's a kid whose dad is a werewolf, and he's trying to tell people, and people don't believe him. Class as the Foreman Project. You're a fan of Young and the Restless. You get to see a young Victor Newman here. Also, if you picked up the Night Stalker series when it came out from Kino Lorber, then you also get to see young Victor Newman, because the episode where Kolchak is on a cruise ship, and so werewolf on the cruise ship has a minute at the Deadly Mantis. It was just a lot of cheesy fun. I really like Death Valley. I think Death Valley gets underrated. and $15 for Death Valley is really, really good. It's just a quiet little thriller with some great actors and amazing work. It's got Peter Billingsley from A Christmas Story uh, being terrorized, and there's a great little like twist closer to, not right at the end, closer to the end of the film, that's really satisfying because it's a movie that like when you watch it, you're not like, it's not a shock of like who this bad guy is going to be. So you're pretty sure you know where this is going completely. And there's a little twist in Death Valley that adds a little bit onto it that I find actually really, really good. Devil Rides Out, excellent Hammer film. Uh, some people don't like this Dracula film, including my dad, but I'm a huge fan of Dracula with Frank Langella and Laurence Olivier. Uh, One, they're fantastic actors for one. Two, creepiest like Lucy scene ever. And I just love the way this is done. It is so beautifully done. John Badham directed it, and the visual flair shows in this one here, and the fact that he wanted to stay closer uh, to the uh, to the stage play kind of put some people off because we got more of a romantic Dracula as opposed to the darker Dracula that we're going to talk about in a second with Dracula Prince of Darkness, Christopher Lee. So very different portrayals of the Count, both equally good, in my opinion. We have the Entity here with Barbara Hershey. This is a bit of a brutal film. Just no trigger warning on this one, guys. The Cat's really good. Frankenstein Created Woman is definitely the most art house style um, Frankenstein film put out by Hammer. There's definitely more of a weird pseudo psychosexual aspect to Frankenstein Created Woman that I really enjoy. Anything with Simone Signor is fantastic. Hills Run Red, love this movie. I still don't have this on DVD. I got to upgrade this one. Uh, Good friend of mine that I worked with in St. John's actually. If you stayed here for this long, hold on a second. I may have a treat. I can't promise, but let me check. Who's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan? The remake. If you are, stick around. It looks like it's packed now, but I'll see if I can find it for tomorrow. But to let you guys know what it is, I have a mask that was given to me, and it was done by a really great guy with really as well working with masks. So it is of this face right here. So in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, spoiler alert for the for the older remake, this guy here, it plays the boyfriend of Jessica Biel, and there's a sequence where his face gets cut off, and Jessica Biel sees Leatherface wearing his face. So I have a really good, but like I said, a really good reproduction of this. Not perfect, but a really good reproduction of this mask right here, to the point where I didn't have it with my other masks because it creeped me out. It was really well done, even to like the blood and stuff, and the way it would be on the inside, like part of the neck. So if I can find that tomorrow, that's the early Ermy one. That's correct. If I can find that tomorrow, I would definitely um see what I can do about getting it, because it is creepy. As it's creepy, it's really creepy. And there's a guy I knew at work. He collects masks, and he does like a really has a really great collection, including the reason I remember it is because Hills Run Red is he has a custom made Hills Run Red mask, and he spends hundreds upon hundreds of dollars into these custom made masks. He's got quite an amazing collection. I'd love to see him again. I love to actually get into his place and actually film. Um, because he came to my desk one day and he said, you really like horror, don't you? I was like, yeah. And I showed him my custom orphan orphan killer mask, because I got it right off the director before there was even orphan killer masks that were being made. It was just the director had some that he made himself, handmade, and he brought to conventions. Very few. So now I think there's more of a commercial orphan killer mask, but I have the original director one. But so he came by my desk one day. I was working, and he said, "I got this for you, man." And and it was in a bag, and it was his face. I was like, "That is one of the creepiest things I've ever seen." So I'll do my best, guys. I'll see if it's not packed away too far. I'll definitely try and get it here for tomorrow's video. Did I? Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to blue ball there. I just really wanted to. I really want to show that. Hills Run Red is really good. I really like Hills Run Red. Did you guys like this? Anybody like this movie? Does anybody remember this movie? It's kind of a Texas Chainsaw type movie. Um, I thought it was really cool. I thought the baby face thing was super creepy. I always expected this to get like a sequel or a remake or something, but never did. But I found this, like, I picked this up for super cheap, and it was so good. And look at the features on here. Look, I got to pick this up. I got to pick this up one of these days. Holy crap! I did not know there was this many features on this one. Got an auto commentary with David Parker and Patrick Bromley. Auto commentary with Dave Parker and Joe Lynch and Adam Green. Interview with David J. Shell and director David Parker. Interviews. Holy, yeah. So if anybody hasn't picked up The Hills Run Red, it is, yes. I'm shocked. Um, it's pretty cool. If you like the kind of the gorier slasher films like Ella Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or kind of sort of what's the word? Yeah, like kind of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre is basically people coming into something that they really should really really wish they wouldn't have. So here, I'll just read the description because it's been a while since I've seen it. It's dark, clever, nasty as hell. Finger, yeah, kind of mid 2000s, I think, but it's really good. It's not what you think. You've heard the story, the one about the goriest, bloodiest splatter flick ever, the one made in the 80s, but mysteriously lost. Flash forward to now. Young cinema buffs search for the secret location where the movie was shot, hoping to find the film. What they find is that the goriest, bloodiest splatter flick ever is more than a movie. It's real. It's happening to them. The Hills Run Red vaults into a whole new level of horror as the terrified interlopers confront a demented killer who covers his hacked up face with a baby doll mask. Wait, Babyface is just the character from the movie, right? Wrong. He's alive. He's waiting. He's thrilled to meet fans who will die slowly, gruesomely, shockingly for his art. Get ready to meet a new horror icon, Babyface. It's really good. I really enjoyed it anyway. And with that many features on there, it's that's a fantastic buy. Let's see if this is on Amazon right now. Hills Run Red. How much is it? $29. Not bad price actually. That's Canadian, by the way. I'm looking at Amazon CA here. Love this movie too. William Sadler. I love William Sadler. We got the classic "I Saw What You Did" with Joan Crawford. Basically, that's the one. The kids. Kids. Call up and say, "I saw what you did," and they go say it to a bunch of people. Kind of as a prank, but they call one person, and he just killed his wife. So he's not good with them saying, "I saw what you did." Obviously, really interesting film. They remade it in the '80s, late '80s, I think, with one of the kids from Full House. I think so. Pretty sure it was her. Of course, Krampus on 4K here. Legacy. I really enjoyed this movie. Really good film. A very fun one here too is it's a Hammer film, but it's a Hammer Shaw Brothers film, and it's the Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. This is so much fun. There is so much fun for this one right here. It's just so good. The kung fu is really good in it. I like the way they did Dracula. I just thought it was really well done. Let's just have Golden Vampires, or I think it was like the Seven Brothers and One Sister meet Dracula. There's a couple different titles for the film, but I really enjoyed this movie. Love at First Bite. I really like that. Once Bitten's okay. Metal Storm, The Destruction of Jared Sin. Lexi is cool. It's not. Lexi is one of those movies that I didn't know that I was going to like as much as I did until I started watching it. And I love the way that it ended. It's one of those where the ending truly satisfied me. Like I finished the film and I'm like, this is it. This is exactly how this movie should end. I don't think any other ending for this film will be as perfect as it was. And you get so many movies that they'll go out and they'll do a ton of really cool stuff, and you get to the end and they'll mess up the end, and you're like, I feel like I wasted an hour and a half now. Like it was really good, and all of a sudden the ending gets there, and the ending's horrible. But Legacy is just the opposite. It's one of those like, oh, no other way should this movie end. We got the Monolith Monster, Mole People, Night Seagulls, of course, the classic. Night Sorceress, Lorley's Grasp. That's actually a really good double feature. Nightwalker, William Castle, I don't know. That's actually pretty good, actually. I saw a lot of actions there, didn't I? Like, totally. Nightmares. I really like Nightmares. It is an anthology film. They nailed the playlist aspect of that's excellent. I still don't have the Drive Deliriums. I was working with Maddie. I was working with Umbrella for a while, and they were supposed to get them out to me. Now Umbrella has changed their I guess their marketing guy, the one that works with people to get movies sent down to certain YouTubers or reviewers, and I didn't make the cut after the new guy came in. So unfortunately, unless I can find them in a store and get them like fairly cheaply, I'm probably not going to have them now. But I appreciate and I thank Umbrella Entertainment for getting me as much amazing stuff as they did, and I'm very saddened by the fact that they're no longer working with me. But things happen and change, and that could change in the future. So I've nothing bad to say. But I will say, I've seen some of those of my dad's, those Drive Delirium discs. are kick-ass. I want to have them actually. I want the entire collection, Maddie, because they are so well done. Pretty sure Mark Hartley did the Drive Delirium ones, and I know Jamie worked on some stuff with that. I'm pretty sure he did. I think he did, um, because they're just it's well done. You need you do Nightmares is so cool, man. I remember seeing, and even the cheesy one with like Emilio Estevez, going into the video game. I love that. It's so well done. But the best one for me, because it's that classic urban legend, and it's actually used at the beginning of urban legends, where they go out and there's a guy that's an escape from an asylum, and use a version of it in urban legends. And basically, she goes out to get some cigarettes, and she sees this truck behind her. Now, before she's gone out, she hears on the radio, like, there's a guy that escaped from the asylum. He's a homicidal maniac. Don't go outside. At all costs, stay inside. Lock your doors. And she's promised that she's not going out, but she's having a nick fit, basically. She really needs her cigarettes. So she decides to go out. And she goes to this gas station. She picks up her cigarette. She's happy. She lights up a cigarette. And the road that she's normally gonna go back on, it's not there. So basically, she takes an off road, and there's a big truck behind her, and the truck starts to shine its lights really bright, and it kind of freaks her out. Is there, is the killer in that truck? Is he trying to get me to to go over? If I go off the side of the road, is the guy gonna kill me? And every once in a while, like, he'll come up close to her, and he'll really like bump his horn, like bump. It's a Canadian word, honk his horn, or he'll like shine his lights really bright, and it's freaking her out, like really freaking her out. So she manages to get to she manages to finally decide that to take this way that she would never take a different way. And she kind of stops the car really fast, and she jumps out of the car. She runs out of the car, and the guy and the truck stops too. The truck stops. The guy gets out of the car. He's got a big rifle. He's got a gun in his hands, and she is running. She sees this big creepy looking dude with a gun in his hands coming towards her, and he shoots in the back seat of her car where the killer is. Because that's the thing the entire time. I'm not sure if this is on Nightmares, by the way. It's an urban legend. She was riding there. He could see the guy with a knife starting to get up, starting to sit up. And every time he did, he shined the lights so they would get back down, or he would honk the horn. So yeah, it's just one story. So I'm sorry that I gave that away, but it's not done like that, completely like that, either in Nightmares or an urban legend. But it's a very famous urban legend, and I'd heard it many times as a kid, to the point where I literally thought it was something that happened in my area. And maybe that did happen somewhere in some area, or maybe it was just a story that got passed around from kid to kid. But I'd heard the story long before I'd seen the movie Nightmares, so long before I'd seen Jamie Blank's urban legend, because it truly is the epitome of what an urban legend is. A story that happened to a friend of mine that you tell around a campfire. I used to do a lot of telling stories around campfires when I was a kid. All right, Piranha 2, The Spawning, a favorite of my better halves here. A classic James Cameron film. Avatar 2 is coming out. Fantastic. But why just watch Avatar 2, which is an okay water film by James Cameron, when you can watch the classic Piranha 2, The Spawning? Truly the greatest of James Cameron's works. We got Plague the Zombies here. A slower moving zombie film, and not the zombies that eating you type zombies, the older school zombies, with a very cool, creepy nightmare sequence in there. Quatermass 2, Excellent stuff. Creator Master Pit. The Reptile. I really like that one. More of an original like monster for Hammer Resurrected. Scream for Help. I really like this one. It's kind of sleazy. It's really sleazy actually. If you ever seen Scream for Help, it's like super sleazy, but it's really good in it. And it's I think it's Michael Winner. I'm pretty sure it is. Don't quote me on it though. Tom Holland wrote this. Kurzweil does Justin Carswell does a documentary. I think it was Kurzweil and Amanda Ray. So that's gonna be good. But this is like I initially this is so much. There's so much similarities between this one and Stepfather in a way that I actually thought Joe Sholin was the star of this movie. Exactly, and it has Marg Helgenberger from CSI too, and After Midnight. I actually really like that one. I have the DVD of it, Maddie, but I got upgrade eventually because I actually did like that film. That's the one that's set with the teacher, right? That's doing a class on fear, if I remember it correctly. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I think that's it. Mark McClure, yeah, Jimmy Olsen himself. I just love that film. Terror in the Isle is a great one. I didn't upgrade it though. I got the Halloween 2 that had the Terry in the Isle as a bonus feature. I probably should upgrade it in the future. Not quite sure there's any features on here. Maybe there is. Oh, there's a lot of features on here. Alternate cut footage on the cut of the film. Yeah, I need that. Great one there, by the way, guys. Terry in the Isle is really fun. This Almond Earth. Does that have the Mystery Science Theater version of it on there? 2.5 years in the making. Nope, but it said War of the Planets, a 1958 Castle Films released for the home marketing, including both the 50-foot Silent Hardline edition and 200-foot complete sound complete. I'm not sure what that is, though. That sounds cool. Thank you for coming in, Kubrick. I really appreciate it. I know sometimes it's been a while since I've seen you in here for a while, but I truly appreciate you coming in. Always a pleasure, man. These are fantastic. Brian Sauer of Just This podcast, Pure Cinema podcast, and Just This the YouTube channel. I'm sure you guys are all watching. We did a podcast where we talked about for like 5 films in our collection that we're watching, and the kind of like that. Live and prosper, man. And he mentioned the Universal collection. I was unsure about this initially. Initially, this collection was called the Boris Karloff Bela Lugosi collection. Hey, Trash, welcome, man. But the eventually had to change it, which is okay, because it turned into Universal Horror Collection and ended up doing 6 volumes, which are amazing. Amazing stuff done with that. Sorry about that. I just hit the thing. So, guys, I got out of my funk. There you go. Yeah, we're looking at the fact that there's so many good movies out there, Trash, that just don't have like streaming. And I mentioned the fact about the Sony thing, where we're basically PlayStation, like 130 something movies went off of the PlayStation Store. Even if you own them, they took them away because the rights issue with Studio Canal. And so far, it's only been in 2 countries, but that doesn't mean that it can't be elsewhere. So I'm just kind of really pushing the fact that if there's a movie that you really want, a movie that means a lot to you, that's something that you know is going to be something that you watch over again, or just something that you want to have in your collection, this truly is one of the great ways to get it. And it's just have basically a physical copy of it. Here in Canada, a lot of people have Rogers Cable, and I'm sure if you watched or you watch the news and you see news over from Canada, one of the things you would have seen is that Rogers Cable went down, and so they're in Rogers Internet too. So Rogers Internet went down, and what did that mean for Canada? Much more than you think. Actually, it didn't just mean internet going down. because a lot of stores and banks worked with Rogers Internet. So all of a sudden, if you wanted to go buy gas at a gas station, you want to go to Walmart to buy some groceries or to buy a movie or whatever, uh, you got to have cash on you because Interact's not working. But the thing is, the banks are down too. So you can't go to a banking machine and go to an ATM and get money out. And that wasn't in one part of Canada. That was all over Canada. And it truly makes you sit back and think how dependent we've kind of come on this stuff. We've become on this stuff. And we like, and that was just, and still in some areas it's still being fixed. But just call it debit. Yeah. But the thing is, like, any place can have it. That's the crazy thing, Cam, is that like every debit or interact or thing that's used, it's that's computerized. So if the internet company that runs that bank works on breaks or gets hacked or goes down, it's a waiting game. Tied to one service is really not good. But that's often the way it is. It's like when people ask, like I worked for a company in the U.S. and a few companies in the U.S. actually, and most of them use FedEx. And some people love FedEx. Some people like hate FedEx. They think it's the worst thing ever. Honestly, really, there's not a huge difference. But some I find better than others. But the thing is that FedEx basically, gives a good deal for companies to work with them, and they give like certain promises and certain benchmarks with their shipping. And like Cam's mentioning there, like Rogers data centers, yeah, we're down for almost a full day. Roger Canadian Data with Roger, is that Rogers is like, okay, well, banks, you work with us, you be exclusive with us, we give you good deals on on your internet type thing. It's just the way that happens. But it's crazy to think that like this can happen. It can happen anywhere. Hackers all over too. So because you never know, right? But then, that's just one bit. That's scarier because then your money is tied up, and it made me think. Should I like go out and like, and I'm not sure if anybody else thought about this or anybody here, this Canadian thought about this. Uh, should I make sure I have some money on me, just in case? You just I used to when I was when the interact when the whole debit ATM thing first became a thing. I didn't really I was I was iffy on that. I was like, I'm not quite sure. So back then I would take like $50 out of my bank account, and that would be like in case the system went down or wasn't working or was at an area where it doesn't have we didn't have it at the time. I had emergency funds. I haven't done that in years, but over like this week made me really think about it. I didn't do it, but it still made me think about it. I remember, guys, in about an hour and a half, I won't be awake. I'll be asleep by then. Amazon Prime Day will be starting. So you're going to start to see new deals come out. So we're just going to hit the Amazon.com page right now for you guys, and we'll refresh it. There's going to be deals throughout the day, throughout the next 2 days. The Amazon Prime Day is actually the 12th and the 13th. It officially starts at 12 a.m. Pacific time, which is 4 a.m. my time. So we got some decent deals right now. 15% off, 7% off, $150 off, 12% off, 25% off, 50% off certain things. But Amazon Prime is when the big things come out. The first Amazon Prime that happened, it was the best and worst thing for my better half. We just moved to Nova Scotia like recently, and we just got an Amazon Prime. And one of the first things that came on sale for a really great price, an insanely great price, was the DVD box set of Twilight Zone, the one that had the original Twilight Zone and the '80s series and 104 random uh, comic books and a booklet with episode guide and everything for both series is in there. It had lenticular artwork on all four sides of it, and it was done in a cube. It's one of the greatest sets I've got in my collection. I got that on Amazon Prime Day. It went so fast that I almost missed out on it. It was only by them having one person kind of cancel an order. Whether well, I'm not sure, cancel order didn't go through, or maybe just the funds weren't there. That I was the next person in line, and I managed to get it. It sold out in minutes. After that, like Hin, who's a huge fan of anime, noticed that they had the complete series of Ranma half on sale. So she was able to pick that up. She picked up the entire series, huge Ranma half fans. And we also got some Sailor Moon because we're big Sailor Moon fans as well. We don't have all the Sailor Moon, though. There's a lot of those to get. And we're still behind on that. But we got a bunch. We picked up the Twilight Zone, and we picked up a couple TV shows, but mostly was anime. Picked up a lot of anime. But if you're into like movies or books or games, or you want to get some new tech, some new TVs or new electronics, or some of the Amazon things, or even stuff from Audible or the Amazon channels, all this goes on sale for extremely low prices over the next 2 days. And you just have to keep an eye out, because some of it will be on sale throughout the entire sale. Other things will be cycling in and out. They'll have what we call lightning sales. And these lightning deals basically will only be for a very limited amount of time. And there's often a limited amount of items that they have for that sale, much like the Twilight Zone set that I picked up. It was on an extremely low price, but there was an extremely low amount of them to pick up as well. So it's then the way that they do it, that Amazon does this, is they really make an event out of this. They really make you have to come back and look over and over again. You can't just go into Amazon Prime Day once and look and say, well, I guess that's good, because you could come back in 2 hours later and something else is on sale that you really want. So, budget carefully when it comes to this. Now, there may not be anything that comes on there that you want. You may say, yeah, man, it's nothing for me. And there's been times that the Amazon Prime sales have been like that for me. Yeah, it's okay. I regret missing out on a Perry Mason complete series collection that was on there for a really good price once. But it was on me. It was there and I didn't get it. I said I'll be able to get it any time. It's ramped up in price tremendously since then. And now I only have like half seasons of Perry Mason in my collection, a couple half seasons. And I don't have the Betty Davis episode, damn it. But season 4, I think. But it's really fascinating to see the way they do it. It is pretty well done. And the fact that there's different items going on sale and things are being cycling in now. They give you they'll give you heads up sometimes on certain items that are coming in. They'll say, okay, this is coming in a couple hours, or this is going to be in right now, or this ends in a day or two. And as you've seen, if you've watched this video, and I apologize for bitching at the early part of the video, but it'll say that things are there. How nice! I hope you like the reptile. The reunion movies are so good, Alan. I love the reunion movies. I did manage to pick up those. Remember when they made those 4 Perry Mason movies without Perry Mason? Because he was passed away, so they had like Hal Holbrook and like another guy come in. So I got those 4. I think it's 4. Um, but yeah, like things come in and out. Like here, it says Kids Fire tablet. Is the Kids Fire tablet here? Nope, it's gone. It's all sold out. Reptile is a good movie, man. I love Hammer's Reptile. Yeah, the Echo Dot, is that still available? That's still here. So Echo Dot, and just to see if it's here. To like to show you guys, I'm not. I don't just I'm not just talking about something that that I don't do or I don't really know about. It's like an Amazon on one of their original sales. I picked up one of these little Amazon pucks right here. One of the original, like, kind of dot type things. Which is awesome because I used to use it a lot when I was writing. It basically put some music, like Amazon, play this playlist or play some opera. Cause listen to some opera. So I'm not just someone that's talking about a sale. I'm someone that's experienced and looked into it a lot. That being said, those things, dots, fire sticks, whatever, may not be for you. May not be your thing. But there'll be lots of physical media, movies, books, all kinds of stuff on there. Like I, for instance, got a list. I got a huge list of things on my Amazon, like wish list, and so I'll go in and I'll check because they'll let you know when things go down in price. So, for instance, right now I'm going to go to my Amazon on my iPad, and I'm going to go to the cart, and it'll say messages about items in your cart. So nothing has decreased enough for me to pick up, for instance, right now. But one thing that I'll look towards. Yeah, Nekodot too. Yeah, it is actually. I was really surprised how much I used it. And when we moved it here, we didn't attach it and get it set up. I want to get set up once we go back to Morocco. I'd like to upgrade actually to a bigger one. So we just mentioned the Hills Run Red here on the channel. So apparently originally it was 31.13, and it's just gone down a little bit, down to 29.88. So like that's it's down a bit, but sometimes you'll get things there where it's like it'll be like, okay, this was $150, and now it's like now it's $100 or less. When you're buying omnibuses, that's always something to look into. Like the Driving Deliriums here, they got a couple of these here. Just a couple of a minimal price drop, but $9.78 is still not bad for those. And that's why I always recommend when you're signed into your Amazon to go in and like pick a category that you want and like start making a list. Do a list. Okay, I'm collecting movies. I want Shout Factory movies. I want like Vinegar Cinder movies are on Amazon. I want Severin movies. I want Arrow movies. I want Criterion movies. And do up a list, basically a buying list on Amazon, and of each of the ones that you want, and put stuff that you really want in there. Because when it goes on sale, when you come back to look at your Amazon, you click on your cart, it'll say, okay, there's messages in your cart about certain items. There may be something that you just aren't aware of that's on sale that'll be on sale for a really cheap price. That's how I got my a couple of my Power Rangers Chef Factory box sets. That they went down tremendously in price. All right, guys. So I went from not doing much on here to thinking I wasn't going to be on very long because I was peeved off. Apologize for the bitching for a first world problem. Not just because it was the first. It's like, okay, my game system that I really like is broken. I'll eventually get another one. You guys just happened to be like there with me when right after it happened, and I was bummed. So there you go. but I hope I made up for it by trying to have an extra long video tonight, something like old school. I've tried to buy from Amazon's 3 for 2 promotions. The dumbed in search and filter function so hard. I have. It's really hard sometimes to find from there. You're lucky. You get more of those. Like they had. I was so peeved, Matt. They had like a really good like omnibus. Remember that one? The 3 for 2 sale, and they were really great prices in America. And I was hoping that was going to be here in Canada too, but we never had it. Uh, but I was excited, and I was like, "Damn it! Why can't it be here?" I always check like on my some of my Canadian book sites just to see if something is gonna show up. I have an omnibus coming up, by the way, guys, that I'm gonna be like checking out and unboxing here. Anyway, there we go. If you watched, hey there, EH, you came in at the end, man. I'm glad you got it. I'm because I know you're a fan. The Shawscope box included, but damn, maybe the next time, Matt. I know how you feel, man. Sometimes you just don't have the cash for it, but maybe that means you weren't meant to get it that time. You're meant to get it another time. I have faith that you'll eventually get it. My name's Aaron. As much as I peeved and whined like a little whiny brat tonight, thank you for staying with me. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, I really do appreciate that. If you enjoyed it, despite everything else, also thank you. The sale starts at 4 a.m. my time. So, in other words, it's going to be 1 hour and 20 minutes your time. It's going to be really fun. And hopefully, we'll see at least one thing that's going to tempt us so much that we're just going to have to buy it. I'm hoping that there won't be too much temptation for me because I'm hoping to, and working at spending some of my cash to do things that will advance the channel. So that's where some of my all of my disposable income is going recently. But anyway, I'm not gonna babble anymore. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys rock. I came in here totally bummed out. I'm leaving here super happy to have spent this time, the last just over 3 hours with you guys. Like, was the ruling from this channel? Well, Halloween. For me, I said the key thing in EH is basically this: when it comes to the Halloween titles, when it comes to 4K, because I did get the box set, uh, and I went out and I bought like at least the first couple so far on 4K, and while I buy the other ones on 4K, I will, yes, because Halloween is something as a franchise in general that is truly a big part of my life, and something that I really enjoy watching. Even the worst Halloween film, well, not the worst, but most of the Halloween films, aside from the one, uh, I enjoy watching. I do enjoy Resurrection. I enjoy H2O. I enjoy Curse. Um, so for me, because I know it's going to be something that I like, something that I watch. It's not just buying something over that I already have. It's uh, it's a proven commodity that I know I'm going to like. I know I'm going to enjoy, and that's where I think you should be when it comes to 4K. Is it's an individual choice, but check the video, check out some video. Fast forward through my ranty parts where I talk about my PSP breaking down. That's the less fun part of my video. My name is Aaron. Thanks for joining me here tonight in the Cult of Cinema. Hope you had a great night, and I did. Thanks to you guys. It started out pretty crappy, but you guys made it awesome. I will see you soon, right here in the Cult of Cinema. Time for the outro. I'm hoping it comes, man.